Hey everyone, and welcome to another Season 7 Brackets Round 1 Top 32. Today we have Cfalcon versus Machie, Game 1. Thank you for all the volunteers to help us put this stream together. First, we have our trackers. We have Tomotalk and Waylon. And for comms today, the people who will be giving you all of the exciting information and the play-by-plays, we have Natasha and Pyra. How are you two doing today?
Yeah, good. Thank you for asking. How are you doing, Pyro?
Doing great. Excited for a good match between two good runners here.
Yeah, definitely. So we have Cfalcon versus Machie. So a little bit in Cfalcon's favor here when we're looking at the stats page. Cfalcon is seed number 7, Machie is number 55. This is the first time that they're playing in this round. They do 3 games, right, Pyro, for this round.
Yep,
And
this
this
is
is
a
number
best
1.
of 3, so this is game 1.
Yeah, Cfalcon's average time slightly faster than Machie. Have they not played before?
I think head to head, apparently not in a 1v1 at least.
Wow, that's actually really surprising.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Cfalcon getting a little bit more of the statistics here. He's got a slightly better best time ever and a slightly better average time. Machie coming up there, not too far behind. And yeah, looks like the first head-to-head between the two, and we will see 3 of them in this tournament. In this round, we might not see all 3 on restream, but they will be. Well, actually, I suppose they won't. It depends on how many they win, right? So,
Yeah.
as it's best out of 3.
Yeah, and so far this tournament, Cfalcon won his group, coming out of Group G, 3-0, beating Drunus, Purple Rupees, and Me Think So. Machie came out second place in Group J behind Angle, and I believe he beat Check Raise and Philip Tito, and unfortunately lost to Angle. But definitely 2 really good runners here. It's hard to feel bad about being an underdog to Cfalcon, just given his his record in major tournaments and everything. But Machie can definitely come out with a little bit of an upset here.
Yeah, definitely. Just to go through our draft settings for this race, we have dungeon tokens on, so strap in. Gerudo card is also on. Cuckoos is set to 1, and we also have random spawns. Yay! So we don't know where we're starting. We do know that we're going to start as adult though, so we'll be doing an adult start, random spawns.
Yep. Epona songs start with a medallion too, so can immediately go over to the fortress area if we really wanted to check the vanilla card location. But and here we go.
Yeah. Like starting out by lake.
Yeah, that's a pretty awful spawn as adult.
Yeah. And we're having some divergence. Well, maybe we'll see, because it looks like Cfalcon is heading out. This would be my first my first check on Machie's side is definitely open grotto.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, without free scarecrow or anything, it's a pretty easy bet to just go into field.
Wow. Okay. Well, we won't have any light arrow hunting today because we just found them nicely in the open grotto. I would have wanted something else to start off with, something that would give us some immediate progression. But yeah, we do need those. So okay, good.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. I could see either running straight to Kokiri or going all the way to Adult CAC and kind of just going into a normal adult start.
Those 4 in Mido's house in Kokiri would be very tempting to just pop in there on the way to Kakariko.
Definitely, I'd agree. Oh, and since you can't guarantee your child spawn will be in Kokiri Forest, I think doing that early does actually make a little more sense, which it seems like we're getting from at least Cfalcon.
Yeah, and this is interesting. I always wondered whether it was going to take a little bit more time for Epona to appear and then get on top of Epona. I guess it depends on how far you're going, but at least this is a nice proof point that over this distance, Epona is faster.
Yeah. Yeah, so Cfalcon going to Kokiri, and it looks like, based on the angle, that Machie's going to Kakariko, so... That is a significantly tighter run to get there in daytime too than I would have
Mhm.
expected.
I think that was Ruto's letter there in Kakiri
It
Forest.
was the sideways battle, a very nice little optical point, I guess, to to see that better. Long are the days of seeing a bottle and being like, I have no idea what's in there.
Quality of life changes are good.
Yep.
Graveyard to Twin Rover.
It's a nice early hint. So. Yeah, we just kind of getting early divergence already, so... Ooh. Man on the Roof giving you iron boots, which is pretty nice.
Ah, I thought that was my prediction for our casino mode today, so oh well.
Because,
Early
no.
iron.
There
Never
you go,
mind.
the water temple being wet, being barren.
All right. Nice Mido skip from Cfalcon. Probably heading over to get the Minuet song check here, and we'll see Machie picking up the Windmill song check.
Yeah. Ooh.
Interesting.
Minuet actually kind of bails Machie here, because he can just end up playing that, and he'll end up in SFM anyway, so this actually a little bit of movement optimization, I would think. Over the long
Yeah.
run.
And if this is a song chain, we'll see from Cfalcon's side in a minute, that would be very beneficial.
Yeah.
We'll find out our 40-50 Skulltulas here. So 50 is arrows, so that's dead, and 40 was a piece of heart. So no 40-50 Skulltulas. We should see a hint for 30, right? If they manage to find it.
Yes,
so we'll still see that.
one of the stones should have the 30 hint somewhere. Well, two of them, I guess, technically. I believe that was Rang Chest is a skull token, and there is the copy of Rang Chest is a skull token. Got the SFM hint. That is fantastic.
And Machie picked up Kakiri's sword in Impa's house. So, yeah, that's a nice early find. We'll see if that's going to be needed. It's closed decker in this setting, so that might be something that turns out to be useful.
Definitely a very nice thing to have going child. Even Deku Tree just always a check-dense location with a really quick dungeon, so... ZL and Minuet check. Pretty nice for our Cfalcon too. This is interesting, the song positioning is kind of beneficial in its own way for both runners, because Cfalcon's gonna get ZL to check Composer Grave when he gets to Graveyard, but Machie didn't need to do the whole run through Lost Woods to SFM with the Minuet, so...
I didn't see what was in crate, but it looked like it was... I don't know, actually, yeah, that's in TARDIS, I didn't see it either.
I thought it was a slingshot?
Okay,
looked like it had this small handle.
Right, I was juggling between that and a stick, so I didn't want to make a big deal out of a stick. So,
to be fair, I don't want to make a big deal out of a slingshot.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, Cfalcon done with his Lost Woods Kokiri Forest dip, and I'm guessing this is probably him going up to CAC now. And then pretty decent 51 on Machie's side for the Damp A.
And a t-shirt. That doesn't feel like it would be Path. But we are in a Path location. So Graveyard is Path to Twin Rover. That would be a very interesting route.
That would be gross, given the water temple.
Oh, right, yeah. Then we don't need to worry about that at all.
Oh, I mean, you could get some really stupid logic with, like, Central Pillar for water completion for an item and Temple of Time or something, but we're not going to think about those disgusting possibilities.
Yeah,
5.5 minutes into
yeah. GTG reward is a Stone of Agony.
Unfortunately, we will not be seeing the bonk today, probably. So. I actually like this adaptation from Cfalcon to go upriver too. I think the time of day would have been very tight for him to have gotten to Kakariko during the day.
Yeah, it's a good way to go about it, isn't it? If you feel like you're not going to make it to Kakariko, go up river, see what's up there. You get a few checks, get a few hints. It can be very helpful.
Especially early hints. Like the number of times I've lost seeds to getting a hint very late and then not realizing what the hint was actually pointing at is way too high. So when you get like a CAC to something path and you're like, I got 7 things in CAC and I don't remember what they are because I didn't write them down.
Right. Yeah, I log everything. My brain cannot hold that much information, so everything gets logged.
I believe that was Burning Cack' Song of Storms. So
Okay.
this is not one of those songs that you want to see late.
No, it could be valuable. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Frogs 2 is just a gold Skulltula token as well. So
yeah, we have a few skulls. We have some skulls shuffled in today because of dungeon skulls being on. So.
Yes. And because of Golden Skulltulas being shuffled, the dungeons are actually a little bit more dense. So especially some of the earlier dungeons end up being a little bit more check dense, but also you kind of run the risk of stranding some checks that you cannot do right away.
Yeah, I always forget about DC. There's the one at the top of the staircase in DC, and if you have a bow, you can check it, or a long shot, but you could just orphan it.
Yeah. And then even Deku has the garbage skull in the back that you technically
I forget
need
about
Boomerang
that
for.
Oh God, yeah.
There's some potentially really scary double dips of like 1 or 2 off locations in dungeons with dungeon skull tokens. So Machie putting the early Iron Boots to work, diving through Lost Woods to River too. So he's going to get all of the information that Cfalcon got, and Cfalcon just retracing the Kakariko's steps. So this early game, even though they diverted it, or actually because of some of the song locations and some of the items are just kind of retracing each other's steps a little bit here. Early Seed has given us some items, but nothing actually super useful in any way. I mean, Irons has helped with a little bit of movement on Machie's side. The lights are nice, so you don't have to worry about the hint or like a lights casino at the end. I think the best thing we've gotten so far is the K-Sword for Child.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can hand in the letter, but it's not really going to do much for you at this point.
We actually don't have access to it without a scalar bonds. We can't get in
That's
the
a
domain
good
right
point.
now. So even that letter is kind of just looming.
I always find this quite interesting with random spawns. When you get an item for something that you spawn nearby. So our adult spawn was near lake, and we did pick up iron boots. So it's it's a little interesting.
Yeah, that is always helpful. Keeping track of where your spawns are is just like a little bit of an optimization. Like knowing when to save quit versus not in a seed like this is kind of a big thing. So.
And it's why we have Machie walking into market rather than save quitting and appearing there.
Yeah. The other thing with random spawns too is it actually kind of promotes wanting to minimize the age changes. Especially in seeds where you may not get a prelude or a serenade very quickly. If your spawns are very, very far away, trying to optimize your age changing as minimal as possible is very, very beneficial in the long run. Get our first med check here. I saw Deku Fire, I think it was Jabu Spirit, and I missed the last one. Fire?
And Chad is saying that 30 is a bow. So There's a couple of other bows that we can find, but it could be that bow might be important. I imagine usually we'll find another one, but yeah, we'll see how it progresses.
And also,
yeah,
a
go ahead.
Field to Volvagia path.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, so it's like we have, thank you to the trackers. Fire Temple is our forest medallion. Water is water. Water is water. We have Spirit is our spirit medallion. Jabu is our shadow medallion. And yeah, then we already have one. So it looks like forest is stone, so is shadow. So see a stone shadow finds a way today. And Dodongo's Cavern, bit of a shame. You always want that one to be a medallion.
Yeah, that's just... It's one of those dungeons that you never really feel like skipping because it's not that long, it's pretty check dense, it's always super early sphere. But if you do manage to cut it out or don't need to do it, you can save a few minutes.
Right. I've seen some interesting meta gaming, not in this season, but in previous seasons around skipping DC. Or it always feels so risky.
Ooh.
Vanilla Suns.
Vanilla Suns. Which could be the path from Graveyard, but I guess we're gonna probably get an immediate check on that. It'll be interesting to see if Machie intentionally goes to Graveyard as a child in any way. It feels out of the way without storms, so he may miss whatever this is. Definitely could get a more punishing song, but if this is the path for Graveyard, that could potentially be a rough little early disadvantage.
Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be. So,
yeah, in a weird way, the fact it's a hookshot is kind of beneficial because it doesn't matter until you go adult again. So it's not like it's going to be like a bomb bag that he's missing for his child segment or something, but...
No, you can't do much with it right now. Well, at least for the path until you find a bunch of other things. So,
yeah,
no way to get over there yet.
I also think this is a very interesting... the fact that Machie got to child so much earlier than Cfalcon did, even though they're doing the same checks, kind of goes to show you how much the individual decision to go like Kokiri to Lost Woods versus Kak kind of ended up paying out.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't like foresee that in a seed, but this is kind of like the small little optimizations that like add up time over a seed of not even necessarily a wrong choice, just a different choice, and suddenly you're, you know, a couple minutes slower getting to child.
And that was Nocturne on Eponas. Checking the back of Long Long March on Machie's side. And we'll see what Cfalcon's up to now. Likely heading over to do first child segment as well.
Yeah. Taking his trusty steed Epona the entire way from lake to market, doing a little world tour with the horse. And it looks like we're gonna get a save quit and checking the child spawn to see if we get any fun logical quirks of seed or if random spawns disappoints us again. Come on, opposite side of valley.
Yeah.
That's boring.
It's not so bad to be able to get back to market and get like do an age change. Like it's but it's it could have been juicier for sure.
Yeah,
so that was just
things, that's it.
Right. That was one Cuckoo because that was one of our one of the choices made for this seed, and that was a bottle. So we're now 2 bottles rich.
Oh, it wasn't just a bottle. That was a vanilla empty bottle off chickens.
Vanilla empty bottle.
Vanilla empty bottle off of the one chicken that just lives by the bed.
Well, thank you, Angie.
Angie was too lazy to get herself.
So we may see Machie do the graveyard flame right now, and then we'll get an idea about what's in that check. Graveyard is path, although we think it probably is for that hook shot, but it'll be interesting to see. This is grave check anyway.
Yes. Good little out of logic check with the flame storage.
Mm-hmm.
Triple factorial, putting a horrible image in my mind about getting milk from chickens, which I'm not going to think about anymore.
Yeah, let's not. Let's not do that.
So interesting little quirk about Machie getting the Sun Song here also is he can't actually check the Sungrave as child because that little annoying kid yells at you.
Oh, that annoying kid.
And if he plays Sun Song in Graveyard, I think he can end up opening the grave, but will actually miss Dampe.
Yeah,
Because
he'll
of
miss
how
Dampe from that. So he'd have to go back out and then do the Sun Song.
Yeah.
And then run back in quickly to get Dampe. So yeah, that would be a little bit... I mean, I guess Cfalcon hasn't done Dampe anyway.
Yeah. My guess is with Sun Song and also Nocturne, like it's not that out of the way to just kind of in your routing get Dampe time while you're like going through field one time or something.
Yeah, so it's a good way to do it, just as long as you don't forget.
Yeah.
So yeah, then that helps. Right, that's Song of Time on Saria's.
Yeah.
Yes, we had early Epona, so Gerudo training. Well, we have early Epona, although we do have the shuffled Gerudo card, so we can't. It's going to be harder to get into GTG. But if we manage to find the card early, then that would be helpful, and we could now check toilet. We have both items. Well, song and item.
Yeah. So. That is not a check I want to think about being potentially in logic already.
It's gonna happen. But yeah, potentially in logic. We need one more thing, but yeah, we're getting close.
I think it's in logic, actually.
We need the card.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot about the card. You're right. But yeah, that's a scary one already. Nice little stick upgrade from the scrub in Lost Woods, which you only get stick upgrades after you get Kokiri Sword. I think it's a law of the randomizer that you can't get any useful utility
really?
until it's useless. No, I'm joking. I'm just saying.
Okay,
like, it never happens. Like anytime.
The pirate said I wasn't supposed to get this.
No, I'm just. Okay. It feels like you never get them until after you get the Kokiri Sword.
Yeah, fair enough.
No longer useful. Like, so.
I always want to pick up like random sticks you see, and also Deku nuts. Like that's I never leave a Deku nut just in case it's an upgrade.
Yeah, it's just one of my laws of the randomizer being a little jerk. It has like its own implicit rules. It's just you never get stick upgrades until you have Kokiri Sword. Or you're done with your child segment. That's the other option. So we just never need them, but it is a nice utility to have, not having to worry about wasting sticks or anything. So.
Now I just realized how stupid it was that I believed that, but I'm gonna say it's late and I haven't had dinner, and I'm gonna go on that.
You just say things with confidence, and people just.
I know, and I'm so gullible as well. You can completely turn my entire understanding of Rando in this one session.
All good. So. Machie putting the Sun Song to good use here. The reason he went into that house is actually it sets your spawn point, so you can Sun Song out of the Kokiri Sword area here, and my guess is he's probably going to grab the skull behind that house too, because that's kind of a useful, quick one if you're right in the area. So.
Sun Song Warp is so convenient, especially for these little places where you get hidden at the back and it takes you ages to get back out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those nice utility songs, and I think it's I'm gonna screw this up. It's either Emo or Ella who hates Sunsong, and I don't understand why, because of the nice little uses you get to just reset your spawn point and whatnot. So. Looks like Machie is going to be going into Deku, which makes sense as a medallion. So can beat the dungeon, but cannot full clear it because we are missing Boomerang for that one stupid skull. And actually, he can't even peek it right now without bombs. So
Yeah, that's very annoying.
potentially kind of nasty check, but I think Deku is still just way too important to not do right now.
We may be seeing the same thing from Cfalcon's going to SFM.
Ooh.
So we might be having it'd be quick to have a double Deku, but it could happen.
So that hint is interesting. There's a magic meter on Skull Mask.
Ooh.
Oh. And honestly, neither runner grabbed Keaton through their first path through Market, so that's a little unfortunate because Nocturne is a really easy warp to fix up. God, this game just doubling up the heads behind Deku.
Yeah, you don't see as many people picking up the Keaton mask now. I did actually commentate Seed recently, which they did, but yeah, it can be one of those things you're going to get a hint about it. So maybe not worry until you get that hint. But if you haven't put the work in previously, then it can be a little bit painful. Bombi Vanilla Slingshot. Aww.
We do have fashion percent though. We've gotten the Goron tunic and the Zora tunic now. So
we need one more pair of boots, and then we have a complete wardrobe.
Yeah. The Goron was a blue fire bottle. Yeah, I understand people's belief that like grabbing Keaton mask, like statistically Skull Mask isn't required most seeds, so getting the Keaton mask is technically a time loss, but in seeds like this, where you haven't seen the hint yet, it just kind of looms as like a bigger time sink to potentially have to go all the way back to market to grab the Keaton, so I kind of just like buying it as a like worst case, but
yeah, just pick it up and go.
Yeah, and honestly, since both runners did it, neither are really punished for doing or not doing it, so we're kind of negated here. So still noticeably absent of useful warps with Prelude or Serenade, though, unfortunately. Another nice use of the Sunsung from Cfalcon not having to climb up that ladder after the Ocarina minigame, which, you know, is surprisingly slow. Hate that check, but Sphere 0, you never really want to skip it.
Another big chest in Deku for Machie, and it is a bomb bag.
That is very nice, because that alone allows us to check that back skull, the nasty one, so even though we cannot necessarily get that item without the boomerang, we can at least peek it, and if it's dead, we can just not worry about it. And if it is something, we will get the information that it's something, and we can come back. Machie already sitting at 6 skulls, which is one of the kind of added niceties of dungeon tokens, is you kind of just come across them in the world a little bit more naturally. So you kind of just collect a few more skulls as you go. It makes the lower skull amounts, like 10 and 20, just a little bit less painful.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to check this skull here, and the heart piece.
Cfalcon getting the skull mask hint. Gonna go all the way around to find the skull mask hint. Well, pretty nice convenient heart container there on the skull. We do already have the Goron tunic, but I kind of just naturally like getting up to 5 hearts anyway.
Yeah, 5 hearts is the safety net, right? So you can take a
Yeah.
hit and still survive. It's yeah, pretty convenient. I'm still
Yeah,
at the stage of collecting a lot of hearts, but I respect the 5 heart strategy.
Yeah, the most dangerous fight is the Iron Knuckles, which do 4 hearts of damage. So getting up to 5 means you can't get one hit by them. Gives you that little bit of extra timer with the water and water and fire. And luckily, the worst skull in Deku is dead. I believe that was
The
just
worst
the Deku
skull is
shield.
the worst shield. So yeah,
Ah, the worst shield.
it's an no, it's fine. It just burns. I want one that doesn't burn.
That's fair. So yeah, basically a full clear of Deku here, getting our light medallion as soon as we fight the spider? Is it a spider?
I think it's a spider.
Giant
Lays
spider-like thing?
eggs of other spiders. Yeah, I think it's a spider.
Pretty sure it's a spider.
Yeah, we have a few options now with picking up bombs here. So I don't know if will they go in hand in letter? I don't know if there's a reason to go and do that right now. Child Goron City, I guess. Otherwise, becoming an adult DC, but it's a stone. There's a few options.
Yeah, bomb bag opens a lot, just in general. There is a field path that with bombs and irons we can check everything. So I think that's their Stone DC is big. Like you said, Goron City is either age, has a few checks for us. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where these runners go. I don't know. I don't actually know a ton. Oh my god!
Thank you for my frog.
Hatch frog. Let's go. We do have the hint already for Big Goron just being a blue fire bottle, so I don't think we're gonna turn that in, but it's always nice to see. I respect picking that. Yeah, so I think what I was gonna say before the frog, I think optimizing your child segments is gonna be really important in this seed. Just trying to
you have
minimize
to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will see Jabu at one point, and we don't have a boomerang yet. So there'll be a time for coming back, and so I guess both these runners might think, well, we'll do Zora's Domain during that run rather than going now.
Yeah, and honestly, the second bottle kind of makes turning in Rutos a little bit less important because you can just like skip to ice if you need with the open bottle. I think if that was your only bottle at this point, I think going up to Domain would be a better play just because freeing up the bottle can be a big thing to do.
Yeah, one bottle ice is not so bad.
No.
And much easier now that chest size match or chest appearance matches contents is on, so you don't have to empty the bottle quite as much.
Yeah. So.
Yes, we may see. Well, Frog Warp would be fun.
Frog Warps are fun. I'm always like so paranoid that I don't know how to do it, that I'll like mess something up or like it's one of those things that I just never have actually functionally done.
It's so rare to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand that. It's like, okay, now I can do it. How do I do it again? Go on the Discord. Somebody should have written this somewhere. Yeah. So shout out for the Discord, I guess, if you're looking for ways to do some of the sort of tricks or jumps that you see either of these runners do. There's some great resources in the Discord if you want to learn how to Zuda like these two. Machie and Nighttime Market. So picking up the skull that Cfalcon picked up earlier, I believe, and then we'll do Richard as well.
Yeah. I think he'll also do Chubble, and I'd imagine he's going to do Hyrule Castle Fairy as well while he's here. Just kind of.
Oh yeah, we have everything.
should be able to clear out this region except for chest game, but that check doesn't exist and can't possibly hurt us.
Yeah, it's fine.
Check has
We're
never hurt
we're not
anyone.
going to need to go there. It's going
No,
to be
that
totally
check has never hurt
okay.
anyone.
I do like a 1 in 32 guess though. That is always good times.
Yeah. I occasionally, every once in a blue moon, will just go for it. I kind of abide by the cola strategy of, every once in a while I'll throw
Yeah,
an attempt in
why
for
not?
the meme, but. So another interesting thing is, with the Skull Mask hint, is how much our runners prioritize that. I don't think it's something worth doing in this child segment. We don't really have anything that indicates needing magic in our adult one right now. Like, we're very far away from Stone Shadow. It looks like we're kind of far away from needing Spirit.
So I'm just getting amazed here at Machie free-handing Bomb 2 bowling. I absolutely cannot do this without the trick. Oh no! Okay, maybe, yeah. Trick is necessary. It's a slingshot, so he could decide to not do it and just say he knows where it is. The only thing is it's hard for checking skulls, but I mean he's likely not to come back. He's likely to be heading to adult soon anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. Like you said, you're probably going to adult now, so I don't think you need it. Yeah.
But we will be picking up the mask.
Grab a Keaton mask makes sense.
I suppose he has Nocturne, so he could go and hand it in. Would it be beneficial to go get magic now? And we don't have anything to use it. We don't have a bow. We don't have fire arrows. We don't have furrows or dins, but they can turn up.
Yeah. Oh no.
I missed that. Why? Oh no.
Ocarina of Time is Requiem of Spirit.
Oh no.
Now you understand my oh no. Now you get it.
Great.
So, as a note, with dungeon tokens, there are now 3 checks that are child locked. So, I don't know what that does to the math of needing AD, but that is a terrifying hint right now. So,
it's going to be a while till we're going to find out as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I do like this. So Machie made at night in Hyrule Castle and is warping to clear the rest of Graveyard. So he's going to grab his hook here, which is good.
And was it in time for Dampe as well?
Yeah, so he used
fantastic. That is really cool.
Get Dampe, so this will actually full clear Graveyard for him.
Which is great as path, and he'll pick up his hookshot here.
Yep. So should confirm the path for us, and he'll also get the Keaton turn in, and he should be able to grab Skull Mask.
Did he get the skull here? There's a skull on the wall, right?
Yeah, you need.
Oh no, but it doesn't matter. It's external. It's outdoor skulls. Yep. So that doesn't matter.
Yeah. So.
Craig.
So, yeah, I think that confirms the hookshot path. Even if that is a slingshot, that slingshot in Graveyard is not slingshot locked by the one that we saw on Cube Bowling. So the hook, technically, I guess it could be Sun's Song to get the hook.
Yeah, I suppose it could be Sun Song for something else.
Yeah. It ends in
most
the hook,
likely, yes, it's gonna be Sun Song.
More importantly, Cfalcon, man after my heart, he is in Valley, doing the correct play. Okay, just because it's a bloopy doesn't mean it's incorrect. This is still.
I was Machie picking up a skull token from the Skull House. He's not far away from 20.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting if he manages to get to 30 relatively quickly. That would be Bo. Forest Temple to Morpher.
Oh,
Forest Temple
no.
to Morpher.
All right. I'm going to count that as a Valley winning because that is an actually really important hint. Given the fact that the hookshot is hinted a path, it wouldn't shock me if that's long shot. Also, we have the iron boots. So.
Right. We're not doing so badly for entrance into Forest Temple either. We have Minuet, we have hook shots, and no bow, so we can't get far, but we can get a few checks there.
So we do have Song of Time, so we can do the vanilla courtyard too. So yeah, that's not an awful path.
Just awful that it's a stone.
Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing I think it could technically be is, like, it could be really stupid for a strength, depending on key logic or something, but... yeah, that's probably just long shot and forest, so that's a very good hint for Cfalcon, and if Machie doesn't find the second copy, that could be a very punishing thing, because a lot of people really, really hate Forest Temple. Stone Forest especially. So there's a little bit of an information imbalance here where Cfalcon knows it's forest to Morpho, but I don't think he knows about the Ocarina of Time hint yet.
No.
So. Valley telling you that Stone Forest is required is a big win, actually, because it has Valley and Stone Forest in it. Okay, it's not Strength, never mind. I'm gonna go shut up, and this is why I O3'd out, because every time I say anything, it's immediately wrong. Cfalcon pulling a Strength off Child Fishing, which is a potentially pretty big find, both for getting further into Forest Temple, which is now Path, and Machie going adult, so that strength may be stranded for a bit. We'll have to see. No Serenade, your child spawn is in CAC. Lake is a very nasty location as child now, so...
Yeah, Machie equipping bombs and his Goron tunic. Wondering if it's going to head around around Hyrule Field to find out what the path to Volve is.
Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable play from here. Gives you a bunch of information on the path. It's potentially just Hammer, which would be really nice to get early.
Yeah, I guess that means that routine-wise, he could head over to Death Mountain, do Fire Temple, do Goron City, do Death Mountain Trail and Crater. It will get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah. Back to Baronade. Have we seen that before?
I don't remember seeing CAC's a Baronade. What do we find in CAC? Iron Boots and Kakiri Sword. And in Deku Tree, we found bombs and a frog.
Yeah, so... Because that's not Letter, because Letter was just in
Mido's
Kokiri
house.
Forest.
Yeah.
So... Could be Kokiri Sword to bombs. That potentially makes sense. Ooh. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, we're going to be of ages.
Well, this is gonna be a seed, everyone.
I might need to get snacks, Pyro. I don't know if I can do this.
I think that's confirmed. I think we've seen all the field checks. That's just it. Uh-oh.
Pyro was sensible and had dinner prior to this endeavor, and I was not. So
just to continue keeping score on this game telling me to stop playing forever, I said getting that magic in your Child of One wasn't that important because we didn't have anything. And now suddenly
And
we
now
have
we
Dins
do.
and Nocturne, and now that magic would have been really nice to have, because you could actually dip into Stone Shadow. But, you know, I don't know, this game just likes to wait until you say something and then prove you wrong immediately, so... Okay, both of these runners are just kind of like YOLOing bomb shoe bowling. Cfalcon used an ESS setup, but that chicken is just blocking him. Oh, snuck it by.
Oh,
That was a very tight angle for that. That was impressive. The thing is
yeah,
like
and then using trick afterwards.
the setup for that location is the same as the setup for the last one, so I don't know why you wouldn't just use the setup. That is true. This is incoherent mentioning that this is potentially all just bait for a fake AD.
We can hope.
If there's like a single small key child side, it's guaranteed a like logical AD, but it may not be hard required AD. So, yeah, I
We're at
think
least
this.
guaranteed to pop into one of our stone dungeons right now.
Yes.
So, yeah.
The interesting thing here is too, you actually can't even go check until you find the card. So usually I would be a big fan of like trying to run out to Spirit as soon as you can, see if it's like forced AD, but you can't do that without Gruta card now. Because there's no way
Because
to
you'll
get
just get
past...
arrested.
Yeah, there's no way to get past the guards, and you're not gonna find Requiem because it's on AD.
So we're just hanging on that for ages.
Wow.
Ah, that's annoying.
Machie is in Stone Forest, I think without the hint.
Oh, really?
This might be huge. If he manages to pull the item without knowing this is path. I don't hate this play. I mean, you have a path hook. And you have Minuet, so like, it's kind of quick to just play this and come here, but...
Yeah, and I
very
suppose it seemed that he was going around field trying to get something that would lead him to fire, and the item just didn't do that. So he's now
Yeah.
rerouted to somewhere else. We can't get into anywhere else. Although he can get into water, but I mean, I guess it's foolish. So he just doesn't care about that right now.
So I will say too, this isn't a bad play because I personally think like Forest Temple is fine until you start doing the push block room. Like it's actually pretty dense. And with Forest, with dungeon tokens, you get 3 more skulls. 4 if you count the courtyard one, but you actually have to like get around to the floor master room and blah blah blah. And like without a bow, you can't check it right now.
Yeah.
But it's actually
dungeon skulls makes a big change.
Yeah, it's a pretty dense play right now, so I don't hate this, even without knowing that this is a path location. So if he if the path item is just like super early in forest, this could be a big bailout from not getting that hint so far. Yeah, so that Din's path is also very interesting because it's more than likely just hammer in shadow, but it could be something really stupid, like magic locked, although we've seen Composer Grave. Wasteland is very out of logic.
Right, and that was everything on field that we got, because he also got the southernmost.
I believe so, yeah.
I don't imagine that he would have left anything in that. Yeah. It was very obvious that he was heading to.
Yeah, I think with the
to fire.
With the adult spawn, I think he save quit and did the Southern Hyrule after finding the Dins. So, and I know if he didn't do it, I'm almost 100% positive that Cfalcon
We've
did.
seen
so I think
it,
we've seen everything. Whether the runners have or not is a different question, but. It's going to be interesting because Cfalcon's going to see this and basically know that the path is in Tektite, so I'm curious if he doesn't even check it and just waits until he's an adult, because he knows he needs the irons anyway. That was a very nice peek. So Machie used bomb shoes that he found to peek the courtyard skull, and I think it was
That
just a
was very
stick.
good.
Was that just a stick? I saw it very briefly.
Gonna trust you. I didn't see it.
I'm
I was
gonna wait
thinking
until
about the
chat tells me
Gerudo
I'm
card
wrong.
in Spirit. From serious
Oh,
business.
no.
That would be, yeah, that would be particularly awful.
Oh my god. Leave it to chat to find like psychotic things.
I know, that's
Holy
really
crap.
awful.
Gerudo card in Spirit? Ugh.
I was thinking that's not. Oh no, wait, that's possible. That's really
yeah,
quite,
that's possible.
quite awfully possible.
Yeah, we do have a lot of keys in Forest already, which is not ideal, but
No, and it's beatable, so you know, beatable's on, so it has to be beatable.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were hoping at least that we'd find it earlier. Could be on the skull.
oh,
I think.
okay, that's
Okay, I'll call it.
yeah.
Okay, well that's long shot. That's path.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as you said, it was likely to be long shot. So.
Yeah. I think at that point it actually had to be. I think we've had everything else. Water.
Mm-hmm.
So Machie's missing the strength, but it's logically beatable now. Actually, we have everything we could possibly need for it, except a bow. We don't have a bow.
No.
But even then, I think the bow is logically available.
I'd imagine so. So when you see bow on high number of skulls, you think there's going to be another. There's going to be another somewhere.
I'm not 100% sure how accurate their counts are, but based on their trackers, Cfalcon's at 19, and I believe Machie's at 16. So they're both making like very good progress, while not like totally routing around skulls. The bow is one of those items that you want to make steady progress towards, but you also don't want to like go insanely out of your way to just push skulls just quickly.
Yeah, that looks like Machie's at 20. And Cfalcon's just about to pick up his magic.
Yeah, I like that. So.
I mean, it's gonna work out. Once Cfalcon finds the Dins, that's gonna be very beneficial for him.
Yeah. We're still kind of locked out of Shadow. We really only have the first two checks without covers, but yeah, it's gonna be nice to at least like poke in and see if you can find it, because I still don't think Cfalcon knows about the Requiem hint.
No, I don't think he's. I think we've only seen it once.
Oh, actually, he has it on his tracker, so he must have seen
okay,
it.
then he must know.
Yeah, never mind.
Scrap what it said. Never mind.
Trust the runners, so he knows. So, okay, yeah. Alright, so that's a good piece of information for him. Machie not needing the forest path, if he never saw that, is big, because he pulled long shot out of it already, so...
Yeah, I'd think about dipping Shadow for the 2, especially if you're not really too sure where else to go. Dodongo's Cavern is still an option. I would feel a bit odd to go there just because it's a stone and, you know, bombs weren't Sphere 1, or Sphere 0. Were they technically Sphere 1?
I don't know how spheres work.
I think you have to do an age change, and so... Yeah, spheres are complicated. It wasn't Sphere 0.
Yeah.
So it is check dense.
Yeah. Cfalcon picked up bugs. He really looks like he's pushing 30 now. Which, I mean, he has a forest path, and you do kind of want to get bow before you go in there.
Is he also? It's a bow that you know where it is, so there's that. You don't know where the other 2 are, so there probably is one logically available, but we know where this one is.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. The questionable items on skulls are always like the toughest ones, because you don't want to completely forsake your routing to like skull route around 30 for a bow if you just can find another one. But Yeah, it's one of those that's like always in the back of your mind, like, oh god, if this is like the only logically available bow, like I
Yeah.
don't want to be too late to it. And both of our runners are around 20 at the 51-minute mark, so they're both making really, really good progress on skulls. We have a 7-year high five too, with Machie here as adult in Goron City and Cfalcon as a child. I did not see a big chest, and Machie is abandoning it, so I believe he also didn't see a big chest in the Goron Maze. And with your point about Dodongo's Cavern, I would feel much more comfortable going into it knowing what's on Ocarina of Time. It's a very dense
Yeah.
location. Bombs weren't super late, and it's pretty decent hedging progression for the AD if it does end up being required.
And chat mentioned as well with the skulls being there, it's a good choice. Top from top hour.
Yeah. And again, dungeon tokens makes every dungeon a little bit better, so DC is actually even more stacked than it normally would be with the extra 5 skulls? 5 skulls. I said that with confidence. Cfalcon doing the bug skull in Graveyard gets him to 20. Oh, maybe that was just really convenient routing to get to his 20th. People always say like soil skulls are pretty slow, but if it's gonna get you to a kind of a threshold, like getting you to 20, it makes sense to do because this is just faster than like putting it off if it's an item. So I really like that adaptation to just grab that one skull. Got the Sari's off of Bolero check.
Is Machie heading in to do DMT and DMC anyway, despite not having the access to fire, but still heading over and picking up that song.
Yeah, I like that.
Zora's River is foolish, thank you. But it did give us some information, so I think both our runners headed to Zora's River earlier, but it's yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, the Zora's River Foolish isn't the worst thing, because you still, like... Both runners went early enough, and they found hints. So, I don't think any of those hints were, like, unbelievably helpful, but... On any given seed, you could find a really nice hint in Zora's River, so... Cfalcon has spent a good long while in his child segment here, but I think it's going to end up paying off for him. He pulled the strength off of a really, really nasty location in child fishing. He pulled his magic, so he has access to use the Dins in his adult one for Shadow. And honestly, Machie's adult 2 hasn't been the most useful thing outside of the long shot yet.
No, I think he had a path based on that Volve Hyrule Field check, but it kind of got blown out the water a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Machie at 26 skulls already. That is a very impressive number this early on into the seed. My guess is he goes into DC here, and he might actually come out with 30. With how many checks and skulls are available in there, finding, you know, 2 or 3 skulls and then getting your last couple in CAC and DMT here. Oh, I love this trick. very well done.
Nice.
It's a really nice, cool little setup. I know a lot of people end up just like hookshot extensioning that, but I think that one's a lot cooler. So he gets the swag points for just doing it that way.
And yeah, heading into DC. Get all these checks done, find out. So I check the Skulltulas as well. We have a long shot. Don't have scarecrows. So can we check the scarecrow Skulltula without having scarecrow? Can we do that with a long shot?
Yes, I think it's a little bit finicky, but I do believe you can hook it with a long shot. I don't think it's possible with hook shot, but I think there is an angle that you can check it. It's actually weird because hitting the skull is harder than collecting the token is. Once like you actually spawn the token, it's actually easier to grab than hitting the skull, but Machie just doing it flawlessly first time. So.
Yeah, I suppose a long shot is helpful. I guess you can get it with, you'd be able to see it with a bow as well, but we haven't picked up the bow for the 30 or found another one yet.
Yeah, it's peekable with bomb shoe, it's collectible with long shot. So Cfalcon going into Shadow. We'll see if the path is in these first two checks or if we're going to have to find hovers at some point. And I guess we're only assuming the Dins' path to Shadow. It could be something really stupid for Spirit Logic or Wasteland or something.
Yep, nice peek. And there's a large test in here.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. Thanks.
That is available.
Yeah, I mean, we have our bomb bag.
Well, you can get the strength off of Child Fishing, so the bomb bag's actually not path.
Of course.
So Serious Business was talking about something, and this is a little weird. So technically, the slingshots are both accessible, but I think they're both bomb locked. So I think the only he's making the argument that the only path that's hintable. Okay, we're just finding hovers in DC. So in theory, the only path for Deku that should be hintable is the K-Sword, because there are two separately available slingshots and there's two separately available bomb bags to get the slingshots. So his argument is the irons to Baronade, or the only thing that I'm gonna stop talking for a second. Reset. Okay. So the CAC to Baronade path is probably for the iron boots, and I think they might be correct.
If that is the case, then could it be that the irons are to get Dins?
Yes, I think everything is colliding in the same path.
Oh, God.
I think we're going to be really screwed here. I think we're in trouble. That's what I was going to go for when you got there. I think everything is surrounding the Dins, and I think it's really scary. So.
Why is Stone Shadow like this?
Yeah, so any individual item is only hintable once, but that doesn't mean the same like chain of items isn't necessarily like that's hintable, and I think that's what we're getting. I think we're getting irons to Dins to maybe hammer at some point, which I think is going to get really, really scary. And I think, and I think what's even worse is our path to Twin Rovo is eaten up by a hookshot, which is just gross.
Yeah, which is frustrating. At least we've managed to find the hover boots in Dodongo's Cavern, although the Cfalcon hasn't been there, but Machie's in there right now. Yes, what you really want is a hint to Dins, hovers, or Mirror Shield.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have that, so that's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, these hints are like all technically already probably fulfilled. It's scary because we're still missing a bunch of potentially kind of casino-y things. So. And
we can't really do much. There's no Hammer for Fire. Water Temple we can do, but it's foolish, so the runners are avoiding it. Spirit Temple we can't get to. Yeah. We can get into Jabu. We do not have a Boomerang, so we can't do much there.
Yeah, I just had the same realization in Code did. We have AD already. It's doable.
Yeah, I know.
It's
This is
also
sad.
yeah, it's also just actually dense. All of these
It is
dungeons are
dense.
super dense.
You have to go into forest anyway. It's path. Dodongo's Cavern is easy to do, so you have everything. And to have everything to do Shadow right now is so early in the game. Oh, but I'm checking the time. We missed our 1 hour. So, although I think Zinedine, being a great restreamer, was good to post everything. Happy 1 hour, everyone. So our runners today are Cfalcon and Machie. Our trackers for today are Tomotuck and Waylon. Thank you so much for tracking and keeping us or keeping us steady with all of the information that you're putting in there. And my co-commentator today is Pyra. Thank you so much for joining me at late notice as well. So thanks
Of
for
course, yeah. No, I'm happy to be here. This is a great race already. We've laughed, we've cried, we've
that.
bonded
More
a little
crying
bit.
to come.
Right? There's a lot more. There's a lot more crying to come. Yeah. I don't know. The push for AD is so like it's just looming, but it's also 2 of the longest linear dungeons that you have to do in Shadow and Forest. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those things you want to clear your paths, but once Cfalcon, well, actually, Cfalcon is continuing. Did Cfalcon pick up his long shot?
I don't think so. I think he is
doing a different route. So he's
around.
going around this way and then do the rebound, and then he'll go from there. Okay, gotcha.
I think he's
so Cfalcon will pick up that. It would be interesting to see if he decides to then. Well, he can't clear anyway because of bow, so he can only do the same amount as Machie.
Yeah. With how many keys we get, he could theoretically go deeper, but that's kind of psycho. He also has Dins and Magic, and he could falling sailing with Dins and Magic, because that's a thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think at this point the seed is kind of screaming AD, potentially. Whether or not it's forced or logical, like, the likelihood is that you potentially just find items on your AD path, too. I think, like, the likelihood of Hammer and Shadow somewhere is pretty high. He doesn't have the hovers yet, but like DC with dungeon tokens is just what, 12 checks. So it wouldn't shock me if he's just kind of setting up for his own AD.
Right, and maybe the play here is you accept that it's AD and you just get it done. Doing anything else might just put you behind.
Yeah. These runners are both really good at execution too. So I think it's one of those weird things where it's like you want to try and cut the routing decisions and like just be as efficient as possible. The seed might just end up getting kind of decided by like who forces AD faster.
Well, Machie couldn't go any further in Forest. Oh, I thought he was just about to go into Shadow Temple. Actually, it doesn't look like that's the case.
He does not have magic still. He did not finish
He
off
does
the
not
Stone
have
Mask.
magic.
Yeah.
So this is actually a benefit to Cfalcon. He could pull ahead here because he could finish off, well, as much as he can do a Forest, find the long shot, and head over to Shadow Temple and start working on that.
Yeah.
Magic is on Skull Mask, which Cfalcon did before he age changed, but Machie decided not to do.
Machie did also, I believe he has the Skull Mask, he just hasn't turned it in. So, but it's just really unfortunate because if you're doing an age change to go Child, and then all you're doing is like turning in the Skull Mask for magic, like it's required, but it's just a lot of hiking, unfortunately, for just like one thing.
And it makes sense. He might have just thought at that time, you know, I have to go back to be a kid again. For the age change for Jabu, I'll pick up magic then if it's the only one.
Yeah.
So it's a reasonable thing to assume, but then as he played more, just found out actually, yeah, now we're leaning to AD. It's going to mean I have to go back and get it.
Yeah. This is one of the situations where, like, what the runner did wasn't wrong, it was just incorrect.
Yeah.
Like both decisions are correct, but unfortunately, given the nature of randomizer, one ends up being correct and one's incorrect.
With the information you have, you have to make a call, and sometimes rando goes like that.
Also, he just picked up the bow on 30, which at 106 in is very quick.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's a very impressive 30 skull routing with dungeon tokens. Dungeons are like your densest skull locations, and to not know that those are guaranteed skulls, like he's been very diligent about picking up the ones in chests, grabbing the overrolled ones that are like right in front of him, and he just managed to get to 30 like super quick.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because I actually don't know. Oh, Cfalcon, by his tracker, is on 23 skulls, and so it's not like he hasn't prioritized it, but Cfalcon put some priority on the magic, whilst Machie put a little bit more priority on the bow.
Oh, Machie is looking for a single rupee to buy a shield, and just got unlucky on like 6
That's so annoying.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, and this patch of grass can be a little volatile.
Yeah. So, yeah, the 30 bow, grabbing that as quickly as he did is a very, very good, good grab, so. Cfalcon not going to ice.
Team, buy a shield, let's go.
Yep.
Buy that shield.
Yeah, I think buying a shield in this seed is very, very nice. If you're going to be doing forest and shadow, you just want to get one. Just helps with your combat way too much to go without. I guess Cfalcon, I think this is his first time into Adult Girl City, actually. Finally checking the maze. I believe Sari's was at Bolero soundcheck.
It was, yeah.
So he'll do his Goron City DMC, DMT loop.
I guess he could check Fire Temple and see if you're hammer locked. I don't know why you'd do that right now.
Yeah.
And Machie doing that age change. Going to get that magic.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, hopefully you can maybe find a way to make this child segment a little bit more efficient. Just grabbing magic and going back just feels not great, but it does set him up for everything he needs for AD, so he might just grab magic and bounce. Oh, he doesn't have the strength yet, actually, so he can't do forest.
He can't complete forest. And I suppose you don't need it for shadow. Well, these runners won't need it for shadow, but you do technically need it. It's logically need it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you'd consider to go to lake in this, in this round, of being a child.
Unless you're me, because Valley Lake is just always the correct one. Yeah, I mean, there's a potential, Shadow has a lot of checks. You could pull a strength out, which would help bail him out. I mean, we've cleared DC, which clearly didn't have one.
Yeah, I mean, there's another 2 strengths to get, so yeah, it could do. It's gonna be very check dense. Could Hammer be vanilla? We don't think so, because Hyrule Field is on the way to Volvagia, and that is the only thing left. So it would have to be, what we found in Hyrule Field was Din's Fire, so it would have to be behind Din somewhere.
Yeah. We're thinking it's probably just in Shadow at this point, but it could also just be behind AD, it could be in Spirit. It could be out in, like, Wasteland behind a random Gerudo card somewhere.
And there's
Machie.
magic for Machie.
Yeah.
Then I wonder if he'll decide to do anything else. I'd be tempted to just age change again and get out of here.
Yeah, I think he didn't do Target. I think he has Sarias, so he could do Skull Kid and Darunia, which I don't think either were hinted.
Yeah, I don't have anything for that.
Alright. Ow. Sorry, I have a cat climbing on me right now. He just caught my leg. Now a cat stream. I'm commentating with a cat in my leg.
That is completely okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stone Shadow has found a way fast for
Yeah.
for definite. There's no going back.
Even if this is not like a hard AD seed, we've gotten so far hovers in DC, long shot in forest, and we're thinking that hammer might be in shadow, so the seed is kind of forcing us to go into all three of our stone dungeons anyway.
Are we still missing a path? We got one double, did we?
I think technically we're missing a Deku path.
Okay.
But I think it
so it doesn't matter.
For K-Sword, because that's the only thing that's hintable there. So,
There's our second Deku shield.
Yeah. One of the things that I was thinking was it might be CAC for irons because Water Temple locks are burning CAC song, which is storms. Which would also be pretty gross.
Yeah. I mean, at least you have to do those things anyway. And we started off with Fire Medallion. So we were partway there beginning the seed.
Yeah.
But that would require a completion of Fire to get Forest Medallion. And we still don't have that hammer.
And we're back to the irons locking Din's more than likely, and Din's just locking everything else in the entire game. So, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so,
it's still the same.
We have 4 out of our 5 paths. We know the 5th path is useless, and the other 4 are pretty much already like fulfilled, which is really, really incredible when you're like an hour in and you have no hints left for what's, I think, 4 items at this point.
Yeah, we have so many things, but yes, we do need a few more things. We need Boomerang to defeat Jabu. We still need another strength.
Yeah,
Machie needs 2 strengths. We need Mirror Shield. We need Hammer. There's a few things to go.
Yep. So this is one of those great. Just go everywhere, do everything, try and find your item.
Well, Machie did a few more checks as child, but now having save quit, I'm guessing he's probably going to go back. It'll be a long old trek to go all the way over to Lake from here.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I think adding those Lost Woods checks in makes a lot of sense. Finishing Child Goron City, you've kind of cleared that full area now. You would have to be pretty, I don't know if desperate is the right word, but to do like a Valley Lake play at this point in this team. You have Longshot, so Valley is even checkable as an adult if you're going over to GTG eventually. So
yeah, so you get the hint, but then we're just missing that strength in Lake Hylia and Child Fishing. So being without a strength here is kind of annoying.
This is also one of the unfortunate situations where like being a very good runner and knowing a lot of tricks punishes you, because at this point there's no need for Pierre outside of like Adult Lake, which I also don't think you want to do, because he has Long Shot and I'm pretty sure both of these runners know Pixel Shot. So you don't need to like route Lake out of sight.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else you need. And I suppose,
Yeah,
top of lab and...
Yeah, it's just top of lab and adult fishing, and I don't think you burn like 10 minutes hiking to like to just bet on 2 checks, unfortunately.
You could do the fishing once you're done with Water Temple.
Yeah, and that's the other
Yeah.
thing too. So.
Right, so here we see Machie heading over to... This has got to be the Shadow Temple play now. So we'll find out all the deliciousness that is in store for us in the Shadow Temple.
Yeah. So, this is full clearable for both of our runners, even with Machie missing his strength. Strength is 100% skippable in Shadow. So logically
it's just for the push blocks in that, in the blade room, right? There's no other need for strength here.
Yeah, the game expects you to pull that block in the falling spike room. So logically, like, strength is required if one of the 2 checks on top of those are a key. But pretty much every runner just ignores that as a logical quirk because it's stupid and logic should be ignored. Yeah, and we do have Cfalcon clearing out his DC. He's pulled his hovers. So I imagine we're probably going to end up getting a double shadow by the time he finishes. His tracker says 29 skulls. I think if that's correct, I think his 30th is going to probably be the Night Cacklin, and he should also be
this one here?
What's this a token?
Oh, this can be a skull, but it might be an item, yeah.
I don't remember.
So it would have to be...
Yeah, I think Shadow is undeniably the correct play. The Dinge is just screaming that... The Din's path is screaming that Hammer is just in Shadow, so... We are about to start getting some new shadow checks too, so I think what we're all expecting is to just find Hammer in here, and if it's something that's not Hammer, God help all of us. So.
I think we're already in it, so it doesn't matter at this stage.
That's fair.
We're here. We live here now.
Yeah, this is just... We live in pseudo-AD. Purgatory for now. Yeah, that fairy especially loves to just like immediately just dip into the wall and never come back out.
It would be interesting to see if Machie finds a hammer early here, what choice he decides to make. Because if we don't know for definite that it's AD. He could choose to take the hammer and run, but then trailing all the way down Shadow Temple again is really frustrating if it ends up being that way.
Yeah.
And no furrows, like he has magic, but no furrows at the moment. So it would be sort of a hard choice to say, do you just clear this? Especially the other path being so complicated and still could be something else in here as well.
I think what I would do, and take this with a grain of salt because I'm literally always wrong. If this check right here is Hammer, I do think you leave. And
yeah, you're not so far down at this point.
Yeah, it's not that far to come back here. Oh my god. Well, okay, that's actually... Sure. Okay.
I'm sorry, Pyros.
We live here. Yep.
You're a very good runner for somebody who's always so wrong.
It's baffling, man. It's amazing. Yeah, so that is Irons to Dins to Rang for the Cack to Baronade path. Which, in theory, means Hammer can now live in Baronade too, or it can live in Jabu, which is just insane. But These are the 2 longest dungeons to do AD. It feels so bad if you can, like, logically dip out of doing AD.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It was like it's sort of getting over that fear of dipping dungeons. So it's like
Yeah.
I found something. I can leave now, but what else is here? And
Yeah.
full clear your path versus not be scared about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
And
gamble.
like I was saying, if that was Hammer, I think, like, dipping to fire makes a lot of sense. I don't think dipping to do an age change to run all the way up to Jabu. Even though Jabu is a little bit denser with the dungeon tokens, that's just, like, a very big commitment of, like, multiple age changes, a lot of hiking, versus just staying in the dungeon that is very, very hintable as Hammer still. So I would play 100 guaranteed Nocturne on AD summon, like, seeds before I played a single Requiem on AD seed, man. It's so painful and stressful.
This is just not knowing. You just don't. You
Yeah.
don't, and we don't know right now because we can't get to there. Sometimes you can get to Shadow, to get to Spirit pretty quickly, and then at least know pretty early. But we still are very, very far away.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% like the guaranteed ADs of like ZL or Nocturne on AD. Just it's so much easier because you just know. Like you don't really have to make the decision. It's like I have the items to do this dungeon. I do this dungeon. In this seed where it's like, oh, like Shadow's being hinted for Hammer. Should I sink 12 minutes into going all the way through Shadow only to find out like Hammer is actually just like I don't know, somewhere dumb, but I think at this point you've already done like a dungeon and a half of AD. I think you just commit. The likelihood that it's forced AD at this point is pretty high.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. We still don't have Gerudo card as well. Would it be faster to just do AD to get Requiem than to find our Gerudo card?
I mean, yes, until you find out the Gerudo card's on Phantom Ganon and it's your last check before the AD song anyway. And then you just
I really might just cry then.
Yeah, then you just gently weep into your controller.
That's probably a good time to remind about our settings. We had dungeon tokens and Gerudo card shuffled on, and one Cuckoo, which we did see, and Andrew gave us a bottle for that one Cuckoo, and random spawns. We also don't have Prelude, so those random spawns can be a little bit tough on getting back and forth to Temple of Time.
Yeah, the spawns are not good. And honestly, this seed has not been nice by also hiding our Requiem and not Requiem, our Prelude and Serenade pretty deep. One at this point is probably locked behind Fire Temple completion, and one might be an Ice or something, and it's just not nice. I think that was already our 4th Shadow key too, so...
Oh, how many keys in Shadow again?
5.
Okay, cool.
And I don't think we've seen boss key yet?
No, I think we did in the spinning blade room with the push blocks. It was in the dungeon there.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I mean, not that it matters.
There you go. I know all the
This is a full clear shadow and not a go mode shadow, so the shadow keys give you the go modeable shadow, knowing that you can't go mode it. Because the game is mean.
But will not soft lock you.
I kind of like Gerudo card shuffle, but it's only because I always lose to making the wrong call around GTG. So just making it so that decision doesn't exist until you find a card is always nice for me.
Finding a lot of skulls for not needing skulls.
Yeah, not anymore.
I suppose that's the nature of any shuffled tokens as well. You're just going to keep finding them.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they're really nice to find early because it just gets you to like the 10 and 20 breakpoints earlier, but once you like get past the point of needing any more skulls, you're just like, okay, stop giving me skull chests. Stop giving me skulls.
So we haven't found anything yet, and I was wondering about this skull tutler. Good way to check it with the bow. Just a skull token.
Yep. So yeah, Shadow has been a little bit of a disappointment after that ring.
So we've got the manager left. We have Bongo left.
Yep, we've got the DLC skull in the back of Shadow too.
Yeah.
The third room that no one ever goes in because
you don't normally have to go.
Yeah.
Gotta go everywhere now. We got dungeon skulls turned on. It's nice to see other parts of the game though. Sometimes you go somewhere like, oh, this has been a while. interior rando. That's interior like entrance interiors. You turn them on. Oh wow, this room exists. Okay.
Yeah. I know that's one of the reasons I think like Grotto ER was a pretty common ban, was people were just like, there's so many grottos in this game that you just never need to worry about, and like the number of storms grottos, like the random grottos anywhere else is just a lot to
welcome
remember.
the Silver Gauntlets. Yeah, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. This is Cfalcon versus Machie, Season 7 standard tournament. This is the first time that they're playing. It's best of 3 for them. Yeah, so round 1, game 1 for them. We have a potential AD. We don't know. It's just looking very much like it. Right now we had we're inside of Stone Shadow, having found Din's Fire on path for possibly 2 paths. So we have both runners in there, but we haven't found anything useful yet, but we are just about to open a big chest on Machie's side. It's not that.
To be fair, I'll take that before 1, the bongo fight, and 2, maybe going into
And if we have to do Phantom Ganon, it's beneficial for that too.
Yeah. So, yep.
Yep. Season 7 does have a draft setting component. So our runners today got to pick a major and a minor setting. Dungeon tokens are on. Gerudo card is shuffled. 1 cuckoo instead of 7. And also random spawns were selected. And we have no prelude. So yeah, we... if you're looking for a long seed, this might be it. And that was a scale.
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. What is this game?
You might have to explain this one to me now because I'm lost.
Well, so that confirms like the iron boots because Din's locks a scale. So yeah, that's not shocking, but it just puts like more and more places that this stupid hammer could potentially be. Still not having Serenade means that scale isn't even really helpful to get to domain faster.
But we can't. I mean, we can get into domain anyway, right? We've got Zelda's Lullaby and 2 bombs. I'm like trying to think
just
what again.
The fastest way is to Serenade and then dive if you have the scale.
Lab dive?
Yeah, lab dive is logically required to have both scales, but you can do a trick with the iron boots and the hook shot.
Yeah.
The one thing I missed who said it in Serious Business in chat mentioned that is potentially really good for Machie. And the reason is if he thinks Din's locks a scale for hammer, that might push him to lake. Maybe?
And then he could do the child fishing.
So get
I'm guessing he
So
Did he? Because they started very close to Lake, and I don't know if either of them.
it was as a
But
adult, though.
Right. Yeah, that's a
their
good
adult
point.
spawn was in Lake.
But Cfalcon did child fishing, so there was nothing in the original in Vanilla Ruto's Ladder spot. It was only child fishing that had something.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I believe he peeked it. I didn't see or know anything
I
on
didn't
it.
see what it was.
It just might push him in that direction. If he like doesn't find a hammer, he might be like, oh, like scale. The only thing that scale locks is in Lake. I might go to Lake. Like, is a potential thought. But my guess is he's probably gonna either go into Forest to finish out the AD before going Child again, or he might rush straight to Jabu. I think those are really the only two kind of smart choices at this point.
Right, save the age change, go finish Forest. I mean, we don't know for definite, but he's got Minuet, he can head to Forest, he's done so much of it.
Yeah. Oh, Shadow didn't have hammer. All I had was boomerang and a scale. This game sucks. This game is awful.
Hey, you're not playing it today, so...
I'm not playing it, but I'm retired. I'm done. This game. Oh, man. So...
You're right, Machie can't do Forest without strength. Serious business, thanks for that. God. So yeah, he's actually more limited than we thought.
Yeah. That's even more punishing because you kind of, if you're gonna do AD, you want to do it in this adult segment because...
Yeah, it would be so nice, it would be done. Really.
You can grab the song and immediately check Child Spirit all in one, but it looks like this is gonna be an unfortunate another set of age changes for him at best.
Yeah. So Machie had another sort of age change that he didn't really want to, well, we think he probably didn't want to do for Magic. He didn't pick up Magic in his first child segment, and so had to go back to get it to then do Shadow Temple. Oh yeah, no, ask away, please. If you have any questions. We had a bunch of rages as well from Silver Gauntlets too, so if any of you have questions about the seed, please feel free to ask. Myself, Pyra, or maybe Chat will know the answer.
Chat will know the answer.
Chat will know the answer.
To be fair, there's like 150 times more of them than there are of us, so one of them should get it right. I like Machie doing pose here before he goes adult. I would have 100% forgotten this check existed.
Same. I also like to forget that it exists, so not helping myself then.
Yeah, it's just random spawns really punishes. I don't want to say unnecessary, but just inefficient age changing a little bit more because you don't get the like save quit speed.
Yeah.
A seed like this is a little bit more important to like really make sure you're kind of nailing your age changes, just because the hiking is a little bit more, and you know, like a minute here and there can add up to a lot of time when you're doing age change shenanigans. So
yeah, it's punishing. I like it in a way because there's sometimes there's with random spawns you get this warp to somewhere that you may not have a warp to usually, like a child getting a random spawn in market is so beneficial because you don't have that usually, that routing back, but they weren't great this time. Our child spawn is Kakariko, our adult is just inside of the Hyrule Field entrance to Lake Hylia. So yeah, they're both pretty not awful on the child side, but yeah, it's neither of them are fantastic.
The lake one is actually low-key kind of good for adult to get to water when we need to do it.
Yeah, because we don't have Serenade.
But yeah, I totally understand this from Cfalcon. He's just betting on the AD. This is also going to change just really well because he's going to get the AD song, be able to go child, grab the song, do Jabu, and honestly probably even dip and do child spirit while they can.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter so much. We'll find out pretty quickly whether it was needed or not.
Yeah. Honestly, I think after this segment, like, I think he's going to be done with child. like that's gonna be everything outside of like chess game potentially. So that just kind of goes to show the decision making that Cfalcon has made has just ended up paying off a little bit more efficiently with the age changes.
Yeah, something being in bottom of the world would pull him back to being a child for sure.
Yeah,
but it's
that's
with
true.
Storms is on Burning Cack, so
Correct.
it's a little far out. We've got all our stone dungeons to do before we can get there.
Thank you, Enko, for... Yeah, we don't have stuff. Okay, you're right. It's fine. I've started to see a lot more people just commit to peeking that. One of the like smallest, kind of most subtle like quality of life things is that flag on the Forest Temple boss key chest used to actually be different. When it was uninverted, it was always a boss key on the wall, but
yes, I remember that.
when they put that in and it changed to actually like represent the correct check, that was a huge thing. And now I really like when players just kind of commit and peek that. Especially with how many keys we've seen, the likelihood that that was like a required key or an item was actually pretty small. So.
Machie will get this hint now as well. Was this the only one of these hints that we saw? This is the
I think
right?
so far, yes. I think this was the only Forest Temple path we saw. Which at this point he's gonna see and probably get really upset and be like, I know that already. But this is very good. He is actually gonna grab his strength here though. Looks like he's gonna do Valley Lake.
Yeah. And that'll put him back en route.
Yeah. Honestly, without this, he was running out of things to do. I think this might actually end up being like close to a last location for the strength. We have like technically Foolish Water, which could give you adult fishing and logic. He could do like Lab Dive out of logic, but this is good to get the strength at least. Does just feel bad. This was in such a bad location, the seed. Putting it off till now makes honestly a lot of sense. It's just really unfortunate that this Jack had something.
Yeah, it's surprising we haven't found another, but I guess there's a lot of dungeons we haven't dipped into yet, so... Yeah, we can't get to Colossus at the moment with Gerudo card shuffle being on, so... It's one of our draftable settings, one of the ones that was picked, so we don't know where Gerudo card is. It's not turned up yet.
Yeah, we do have Ice and Logic too, someone just pointed that out, so Ice is also available.
Ice is in Logic.
Honestly though, Ice has to have like Bolero, Serenade, or Prelude, so you kind of don't want to go there for the song. But it is a bunch of item checks with the skulls in dungeons on. Like you get fountain effects.
She found Iron Boots early, so there's an Iron Boot check there as well.
Yeah. Child Domain is also a thing, which I wouldn't be surprised if Machie does in this segment. I think he just commits to beating Jabu here.
Yeah, we don't age change after this. He has everything, and there's his strength.
He just let out a bit of an eyebrow raise with that strength, which... I don't know if that was the eyebrow raise of surprise or like, ooh, this is a really shit location. Maybe my opponent doesn't have this yet. But Machie does have a face cam on his stream, so I've been trying to note when he has. He seems like he's been pretty poker faced most of the run.
Yeah, he seems pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so equipping Rudos, just as you said, and here in Domain, get it done, and we'll find out if anything's in Jabu.
Yeah. So we do know, I think we got a sometimes hint for the Rang chest, so that is skippable. But we do have 4 skulls in Jabu, in addition to the 3 other unhinted checks. So 7 checks, and I think we're... I'm gonna say this, and then it's gonna be wrong, and I'm gonna lose my mind again. I think we should find Hammer here.
I believe. No, I believe in you this time.
I believe in me too.
That was your Cat Goma hint, by the way, right outside King Zora. We have all of our paths now. Truly a path of all time. Yes.
Yeah, it's... These paths have not been very helpful to see.
No. And it's been a little convoluted.
Yeah.
Yeah, our graveyard to Twin Rover wasn't too bad. Like, easy to work out, but not helpful.
Yeah.
The Cactagoma wasn't helpful. Kakariko to Jabu was a little more interesting.
It's just... Like, none of the hints isolated are that bad. It's just that they all ended up being the same, like, path, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh, there is a chest in domain here.
This could change something.
The fact that you get, like, irons to dins to what we believe has to be hammer at this point, like, anytime you get 3 hints that are, like, on the same exact, like, item trajectory, it just, like, feels bad. Oh, okay, never mind.
Not helpful.
Yeah. So.
We did have a few things in Shadow. We found Scale and Boomerang there.
Yes. Which I think... At this point, the scale would have to be for Lab Dive.
Yeah, I don't think anything else. As we had irons from so early on, and they were kept. That was Man on Roof, right? Was irons?
Yes. Yep. So, and then, in theory, Hammer could be behind AD because of the dins. I don't know. It could be somewhere really stupid, some dumb places, but there's a world it's like, I don't know, I guess it can't be bottom of the well for Hammer, so that's out. Yeah, no, this seed has been definitely a little bit mean to the runners.
Yeah, we've got a little more to go. Cfalcon finishing off Phantom Ganon. This is going to be the Stone Dungeon's done, so it'll be Ocarina of Time song for Cfalcon. Machie's likely to do that after Jabu having found his strength. And oh, that was a really nice one cycle on Phantom Ganon.
BGS makes one cycling Phantom Ganon.
It looks so good.
Pretty free, but yeah, I would be really curious to see the percentage, like, required Requiem with the dungeon tokens seed. Just because it technically adds one more check to the lobby on each side.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, because you have the skulls.
So.
Yeah, so we still don't know for definite whether it is logically AD, like whether it's technically AD, but it was just enough that...
I think it makes it worse, too, that it's Shuffle Card, because if Card is in Spirit, that's like... 1, it's hilarious, and 2, it just adds like another small percentage to the like hard required AD, because you can never cross the fortress area without the cards, so...
So I remember an hour and a half ago when we were laughing at that.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite, maybe an hour and 15 minutes ago, like, no!
Yeah,
that would be awful!
Yeah, and that's a good point from Wayfaring Fox. Like, the card doesn't even need to be technically available to Ganons. It could be in Ganons. It could just be... yeah, I don't know. This is the seed's getting crazy. So I think you're gonna see Cfalcon probably follow Machie into Jabu here, but he is going to get the benefit of being able to pick up the AD song as he goes.
Yep, and we'll see whether anything was locked in Requiem. And then even on Child's side, anything's locked on Spirit Temple on Child's side. But then, yeah, even then, I guess we don't know for definite whether it was AD, because there could have been some other reason that we needed Requiem because we couldn't cross because of the card shuffle, as chat was saying.
Yeah, it could be a key lock, it could be just, if there's a single key on child's side, it's logically AD, the card being over there. I don't know, anything on the... Something on the arch would be nasty. Just some really funny possibilities. By funny, I mean awful.
Yeah, we still don't have any strength to. Our only strength at the moment was in Lake Hylia child fishing. And we have no idea where the other two are.
Yeah.
We also have only seen one bow. The only bow that we have was on 30 Skull Tullers, and we haven't seen any of the others yet.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. And both of these runners did really well to get skulls efficiently. I think Machie had it at like, I think he got the 30 skull bow at like 120 something. Like insanely fast with dungeon tokens on. And Cfalcon wasn't that far behind. So this seed is definitely looking nasty. Potentially required 30 skull bow. Potentially required AD. Just everything you love to see in a seed if you're not playing.
Thirty Skulls, oops, AD. Yeah.
Heart check is not part of Gerudo Fortress. That is very
So where's
confusing
card
to me.
check? Yeah, so you still, because card is shuffled, you still get an item
Yeah.
from.
But so
where does it count for?
apparently
GTG.
Thieves' Hideout,
Ah,
which is like its own region, which to me
what?
seems very unintuitive, but that's one of those things that you probably don't learn until you get burned by it in a seed. So
Well, that is the new thing that I learned today that I look forward to forgetting until it burns me in a seed.
Yeah.
So
that makes more sense for like RSL, where like the Thieves' Hideout, like you could get all 4 carpenters if you're into RSL, but yeah, that doesn't feel intuitive as a runner. So hopefully these guys either 1 know that, or 2 might accidentally stumble into it, hopefully, but
oh, Thieves Hideout entrance randomizer sounds vile.
yeah, that's pretty nasty. Yeah, we are Machie has had a very clean Jabu and has not found anything yet. So the hammer in Jabu is starting to look less and less good, and if I have to increase my wrong counter to 7, I'm going to be upset. So. Cfalcon did pick up the Requiem and immediately played it. I actually was thinking about this. I would be curious if doing this is better than going to Jabu first.
And I guess you can't complete it, but you can get pretty far.
Yeah. Oh, it is correct because you might find Serenade.
Yeah, that's
So
a good point.
yeah, there you go. Serenade and Arch Peak, as Wayfaring Fox put it, correct. So I probably would have been wrong. I probably would have gone to Jabu and then gotten Serenade out here and been like, ah, yeah, shit, that was a thing. So,
A nice box skip here from Machie.
yeah. I was thinking along the lines of like, oh, well, if you find a Strength 2 in Jabu, you don't need to like do the child climb, you can just do the first 3 checks and then like full clear, blah blah blah, but potentially pulling Serenade here, and yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Oh, thank God. Okay, everything makes sense, all is right in the world, and the seed is great. There's a hammer in Jabu.
Amazing.
Okay.
See, we believed.
Yeah, so just Din's locked everything this seed.
Yeah.
Irons to Din's, to ring and hammer. So.
Yep, our path to Baronade was Kakariko to Baronade, and that's where we picked up our irons.
Yep.
And Hyrule Field had Din's Fire, which we needed the irons to go get, and that to get our hammer to finish off Fire Temple.
Yeah. Great Baronade fight. That is by far my favorite boss fight in the entire game. It's when you like do a Baronade fight clean, it just feels so good. Alright, so we are guaranteed to have logical AD. That key on child side, since all 5 are required to logically beat Spirit, this is logical AD. We do not know yet if it is forced AD or hard required AD. I would be shocked if Cfalcon doesn't climb here, potentially to try and find a strength 2, but I could also understand maybe going to Jabu and coming back if you need to. Yeah. Alright. Gonna dip out. I think that's okay. If you find a strength 2 and Jabu, you're just kind of golden here, and you can always come back without losing too much time. Machie, on the other hand, now has some kind of interesting choices. He did pull the strength, so he could finish his AD. He could actually go up to Ice, too. Maybe he'll find like a card or a strength 2 if he really wanted to.
But he has that hammer now. You know, he could go into fire and just finish off fire.
Just stop talking. This is so much harder to like track things as a commentator. I don't know what it is. Yeah, he just found hammer. Why wouldn't
trying to remember who? Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I guess he'll go to fire because thinking about what he can complete now. He can finish fire. He can finish water.
Yeah.
Water's not going to have anything, but yeah, that will give him storms. So there's some options there.
Yeah. Honestly, there might also be a little bit of I don't know if Machie is like a metagamer. I would feel not great given my age changing, personally, if I was in his shoes. And maybe try and play like a little bit more aggressively in one way or the other. But I think climbing fire to do the, you get the forest medallion to get prelude check, and sets you up to get storms, I think is just a very good play here. So.
Yeah, Storms gives you lots of checks, not just the ones on the overworld, but then also the ones in bottom of the world. It's pretty dense, and so...
Yeah. Yeah. I don't hate clearing water first. I mean, you have to do this at some point anyway, and, you know, kind of gives you time to, like...
Right, you can have a bit of a think about everything. Yeah. It's, you know, I know lots of runners save foolish dungeons till the end. It makes a lot of sense, but if you do need that time to think, or you need just a little bit of a break, getting something done which is foolish, yeah, why not? I know he shouldn't leave it till the end anyway, because it's going to give him storms, so it wouldn't be his last dungeon in any case.
Yeah. Yeah, this might be a world in which, you know, if he does like water, fire, and doesn't find anything, then he makes the choice on like, oh, do I finish AD or do I chase storms with it now? So that's a little bit of a tough call, I think. Storms has a lot of checks behind it. And he's gotten through... I was going to say...
Go ahead.
Sorry. He's gotten through the like densest part of forest, so I can totally understand if he like kind of was like, oh, you know, I just don't want to do AD at this point. Like I feel like maybe I'm a little bit behind given a couple of items and decisions, and maybe he like puts a higher priority on chasing the storms.
Right, and then Cfalcon has shown us that it's logical AD, but not hard AD at the moment. So we still don't know that. So there's still that play that he could make, which may pay out.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Inko. I think it's a tough call to make either way, and it's just gonna be, you know, whatever he feels is right, or you know, maybe he pulls card and strength 2 out of fire, and he's just like, you know, I'm just gonna like rush it and hope like. The fact that there was only one key child side makes me think there's a halfway decent chance that there might be a key in adult lobby too. Again, like I don't know the exact statistics, but it's probably more than a coin flip that you actually need the AD for something at this point. I honestly think I turn dungeon tokens off, like, mostly just for Water Temple. These skulls are so out of the way and annoying sometimes.
I don't think I remember where they all are, so this is going to be an education.
There's this one, which is like the bottle cover place. One's in Central Pillar, two are like on the Dark Link loop with a river and stuff, but it just like changes the logic of key layouts too so much that I just never know. I like never understand the logic and whatnot, so. Given it's foolish water, we're probably going to get a really garbage boss key location too, so.
Yeah, it's frustrating with Foolish Water, but with the dungeon skulls on, you still have to do them.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it. I suppose the good thing is that as soon as Machie finds boss key, then that's, you know, he can go straight to Morpher, so that's one good thing. Yeah, it's just if you play a lot of standard, then, well, that's a big chest. Then you sort of know where the skulls are for you to get enough skulls for 30, 40, and 50. And those really out the way ones is so rare for you to go to them.
Yeah. I really want to see that chest, but it's way too slow to like actually go do.
Yeah.
I would love to see if that's a bow, because that's bow locked.
Yeah, Bo was on 30 Skulltulas on this seed, and we still haven't found the other two the quiver upgrades. So
yeah,
it's starting to look a little bit like that was our only bow, despite everything we said at the beginning about it probably not being.
I don't think that could even be a bomb bag. Because I think that could technically... I don't think that would be bomb locked, given where hooks, irons, and bow are. I think the only thing that could be is like a bow or a kind of nothing, like meme item or something.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Stone of Agony, right? So, I can't remember what the other meme items we have seen are.
Yeah.
No mirror shield. Water is foolish, so it can only be something that we don't need.
It has to be something that would like lock itself, so it would be like a bow locked bow. It could be ice arrows. It could be something dumb like I don't even know. We know where Stone of Agony is. Could be double defense or something. Yeah.
I would say double defense is very useful, but these runners probably don't need it.
Yeah. Now with like, I think both of them have 7 or 8 hearts. They're...
Yeah. And it's happy 2 hours, everyone. So follow our runners, Cfalcon and Machie. They are suffering for our entertainment today. Thank you so much for our trackers, Waylon and Tomotak, and thank you so much to Pyra for commentating with me today, for the long old slog that is this seed. And thank you so much also to our restreamers, Zinedine. Thank you so much for restreaming today. Yeah, we'll see if we make it to 3 hours.
There is boss key on the almost vanilla boss key chest. So that's not a terrible water temple. Cleared about half of it, so.
Yeah, it's not so bad. You have long shot to start off with as well, and
Yeah.
there's always a risk you'll pop into water temple with only the long shot, or with only the hook shot. So it's yeah, it wasn't so bad.
Yeah, Machie's routing was actually really interesting. I was gonna kind of comment on it. Like, did the normal start with like the main room, went to do like the one skull that's super out of the way, which is very understandable. And then he like dipped into central pillar to check the skull, and then went to boss key. So I think there's like technically, like I usually do the boss key right after the main room, but he didn't do too much that he didn't need to. So.
Yeah, it's here in bottom of the world. There's always some interesting ways to get around it, and it's very sort of temples or dungeons that have these very square setups.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Water Temple sucks, and I will never defend it in any way, but I think like thematically it's actually a really cool dungeon. It's just awful when you're playing through it vanilla with all the like water level changes and random rooms, but
I think it was fine just if they made central pillar a little bit more obvious. That would have been good. that was the only thing.
Yeah, now that I know like the speedrunning strats and like some of the jumps to do without like hover boots, like this dungeon's probably a lot easier in vanilla too. But...
Would you have hover before you?
No, you're supposed to come here before. Hovers,
Yeah.
but I'm saying like the jumps without hovers are.
Oh right, yeah. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Because I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, oh, if I played vanilla again, then I'll just do all these hover boot things. And I was like, wait, no, no, you can't do that.
Machie unfortunately had missed the quick morpho, but he had a pretty good recovery, trapping it in the corner, and he is going to be done with Water Temple. So
yeah. He could do Fire Temple now. That would finish off everything that he needs for burning Cac then.
Yeah.
That seems most likely.
Yeah. We're actually really only the Strength 2 and Mirror away.
Yeah.
So,
it's quite amazing what these runners have managed to do in 2 hours.
Yeah. And honestly, like, I'm going to keep harping on the hints because they were awful. But, seeds like this where you kind of don't have a ton of information to go off, like, always feels a lot worse because it feels like you have to do everything. But Rudo card kind of cutting off GTG has also funneled you a little bit because it's cut off like a decent chunk of the map for a good period of this race too. So
yeah, it's kind of nice when you don't have to do every single dungeon and every single side dungeon. So yeah, the GTG just hasn't been an option for us. So.
Yeah. I think Ice, just given the like song layout that we know that it's either like Serenade or Prelude, has kind of kept people away from going there. Whether that's correct play or not, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, she's true. So we've only had stone dungeons or medallion dungeons. All of our side dungeons have just not been accessible or not been useful.
Yeah. It's been interesting how the seed has kind of played out that way. So.
Yeah, it is Schrodinger's AD seed. We will, well, maybe we won't find out eventually, but yeah, it's definitely Schrodinger's.
Yeah, we should be able to piece it together if it's required AD or not at some point.
And there's that hammer for Cfalcon.
Yep. I like Machie doing these couple checks. I know you have like your adult save warp is just in lake, so like I could see skipping these also, but
yeah, I suppose you could have saved quick and just missed like swimming across or
it just becomes one of those things that it's like if you end up getting a really quick boss key and fire, if you do these checks, before you do fire, like it kind of gives you a better idea if you should climb more or not. But I think no matter what, I would probably end up chasing storms after fire from here. We'll just have to see if we get anything interesting and how bad fire's boss key is. This is actually gonna like full clear the lake area for him too, so these are just tricks he's never gonna have to think about. Unfortunately, he also doesn't have Bolero, which is going to be a little bit of a time save for Cfalcon. Since Bolero was out at Requiem, he's just going to be able to Bolero over to Fire when he needs to go there. This seed has kind of just resulted in like small, tiny little increments, and it seems like most of them have ended up going Cfalcon's way. But that being said, as of right now, Machie actually has the like your progression advantage, being a water temple up and probably going to get to fire first. So.
Yeah, I see. It's kind of odd because we were Cfalcon having finished off that forest temple and got Requiem a little bit sort of further ahead in those things, but yeah, it's hard to know at the moment.
Yeah, it's at the point that you know, if Machie like goes into fire, and if AD is not required, Machie actually has an advantage right now because he's ahead in the expected like required progression. If AD is required, I would say Cfalcon has an advantage, but
yeah, definitely.
I think it's still actually surprisingly close given these runners have kind of diverged and merged a couple times. Even from the very get-go, like Cfalcon went into Kokiri Forest, whereas Machie went straight to Kak. It's just been a really interesting seed to watch how like both of their decisions have kind of resulted in like these small little advantages and disadvantages compared to each other and how they've played out. So on a level of 1 to nap levels, how cursed is the seed? I would say your cursed is insane, so it's probably like a 3. We have Requiem on Ocarina of Time. Cfalcon has done that. He did the child spirit checks, and there was 1 small key in the 3 checks. So it's logical AD. But so far we've had what we believe is our only available bow on 30 skulls. We haven't found the shuffled Gerudo card yet with Requiem on Ocarina of Time, so we can't even get over to Spirit without doing AD right now. 3 of our path hints were burned on the same chain of Iron Boots and Kak to Din's and Tektite Grotto to Boomerang and Shadow with Hammer and Jabu, which is great. So it's been a seed. It's definitely been fun. Just as a reminder for anyone who might be joining us, we do have dungeon tokens on. Gerudo card is shuffled, and we have random warps and 1 chicken on as the settings. So let's see how nice Fire's boss key is. Do we think it's going to be an early one, or do we think the seed is just going to laugh at us and put it at like highest score on?
Highest score on. No, Pierre. I think it's a Pierre. But Machie did find Pierre. Did set Pierre. So, or was it? Machie did set Pierre, didn't he? Or was it Cfalcon? Yeah, it was. They both
have set and Cfalcon.
I suddenly had the fear.
They
the
both
Pierre
have long
fear.
shot. And I think they both know. They both probably know Pixel Shot, but the Pierre's just like an added little nicety because I always stress when I have to do Pixel Shot. It's just No, see, new IT guy, I counteract the comms curse with always being wrong.
Oh, it's been very good though. You
Yeah.
could almost bet on it.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I think my wrong counter is at 6. Times I've like said something and the seed has just laughed at me and slapped me in the face. So it's been really impressive. So yeah, these fire gets weird with dungeon tokens because I actually feel like early fire isn't terrible because like you get the extra skull in the boss key loop, you get the extra skull in the main lava room here. It kind of like
Yeah,
spreads out the
right.
checks a little bit more. It's kind of
Mm.
early
Get the
fire feels
extra
like,
room in the rolling boulder maze.
yeah, 2 more
PS.
MP.
Mm-hmm.
It actually kind of makes fire just feel better. Like every region just kind of gets like that one extra check that makes it feel not as awful to climb. But I thought that was uh, I thought that was a small key at first too, and then he started to like run away, and I got nervous. But I think it was just the texture on the Goron. Wow, that's such a cool setup that Machie tried to do, and I think he just like shuffle stepped in between all of the things, unfortunately.
Just the right angle for you to jump up.
Yeah, there's some really cool glitchless jumps to do that. Also, this is low-key one of like the worst rooms in the game if you like to start missing your shots.
Yes. This and the ice cavern with the ice bats.
Yeah. See this, and then you get bullied by the tiles. The life like starts coming at you.
No.
No.
Oh, make it stop.
Watch it. The like throwback to the Link to the Past tile rooms of that room is just cruel.
Yeah, they have Song of Time, so Song of Time we got on Saria's check, so we've had it for a while. But yeah, kind of void of a few warp songs, which hasn't been nice.
Ooh, another thing we didn't really talk about was Cfalcon had pulled the furores out of Forest Basement, I believe.
Oh, nice.
So he has that to be able to just set in water, which gives him just a tiny little bit nicer just ability to furores out as soon as he gets the boss key. Just kind of another small thing that's just seemed to kind of go Cfalcon's way of the seed.
Yeah, that's going to be very beneficial. It'll be easy. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how he plays the rest of the. It's always helpful for us. And Machie just found gold scale, a useless gold scale inside of Fire Temple.
Which, by the way, is Din's fire locked. Because everything in this seed was Din's fire locked.
Yes.
To get the skull above the song. I don't think so. I don't think that trick is in logic. I think that skull requires Song of Time logically. I might be wrong about that if someone in chat can guarantee that, but I don't think that jump is logical.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Sparky. Dungeon tokens. So it's all of the skulltulas or skulltulas. I don't know how different people say it, but all of the skulls inside of dungeons. So not the skulls on the overworld, but only the skulls inside dungeons are shuffled.
Yep. So the runners have been finding skull tokens in what would be regular item checks because those are all of the tokens that would be on the skulls. So it's basically, it takes all of the dungeon tokens, it puts them in the item pool, and it shuffles it amongst the items. So you can end up finding items on skulls only within the dungeons. It's a very interesting setting. It adds some really weird potential logic quirks to dungeons and path hints, but Din's ate all of our path hints anyway.
I know it's Tarantula and Skulltula, but 25 years of, saying Skulltuller. It's not going to change.
I'm
Not
gonna
overnight.
call
I'll
it.
work on it.
We just found the fire boss key in what I believe is the absolute worst place to find the fire boss key. I don't know, without spoilersing, there was a recent race where that check had a boss key and there were some decision points made and they were punishing, and I hate that place. Yeah, he doesn't have Furores too, so... Ooh.
Oh, is he
I
key
believe
locked
that
out?
is a key lock. Yeah. So I think Volve has to be a small key, and he's gonna be key locked there, unfortunately. Oh no! um... Aurora's was in the Forest Temple basement. I think it was the basement skull specifically. So Cfalcon has it, and unfortunately Machie does not yet, so. Yeah, it's just, that's like such an unfortunate place to have to stop and fire too, because you don't get the shortcut. He couldn't set for roars. That's a really unfortunate location for it. So, this Vol fight is going to unlock Song of Storms for Machie, though.
So the non-AD play would be to go to bottom of the well and see if there's anything there.
I think just density, too. I think that's our densest place left. Because you gotta think it adds, like, the 3 skull tokens in there, too. So...
Yeah, it's interesting with... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say on top of that, we have the 2 normal storms checks, because we have River Foolish, so it's not going to be Frogs 1. But...
Yeah, with CAMC, chest appearance matches contents. There's so many things that you could peek, or like sort of the chests that you can peek inside of dungeons and on the overworld. Then when we put skulls in and start to shuffle skulls, it adds that extra bit. And then you can see them and, sort of hit them with an arrow or something so that you can at least peek what they have. But yeah, the rooting is interesting when you add those on.
Cfalcon pulled the boss key pretty quick. I think he just did like the main pillar and then went into a boss key area, so he was able to Furores out with that little advantage he had.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other benefits of Furores for Cfalcon here, and I guess you can place it in Fire Temple before the boss, but before Volve, but there's not really much benefit to that.
Machie is going back into fire. Oh! There's no way he's gonna do this. So he just went into fire and saved. I think is he setting up like an insane Song of Storms scum? That would be the most insane scum I've ever seen if he does that.
So what do you think he's doing?
So he
Grabbing storms?
Yeah. So he saved in fire. So if he never saves quit, like if he never save quits, which he doesn't have to do because he has to run all the way back to Temple of Time anyway.
Oh,
I think he
age changes, bottom of the well.
Into bottom of the well, and if he like clears all of his Song of Storm stuff in well and doesn't find anything, he can just scum.
He just resets and goes back to fire.
All the way back to fire. I just like when people think of this stuff, it impresses me to no end. I don't know if I would have ever considered doing that. It's just like, it's so nice because he has such a garbage way to get back to like adult as child, so like if you just do bottom of the well and you don't find anything, like instead of running all the way back, it saves you so much time. Like in the
And he's already done Jabu, so there's no other reason for him to be a child in the seed unless there is something in bottom of the well.
Honestly, recollecting Song of Storms isn't that bad if you scum it. Like it's just a nocturnal way. So like I love this. Oh, that's actually kind of rough to scum. I would kind of keep that.
Prelude on prelude. So yeah.
But I guess actually that's the only thing that's really good for is getting back to Ganon when you have to go there, I guess. But...
Right, and we already had lights. If anybody who didn't see the beginning lights was our first check. That was in Open Grotto in Hyrule Field, and we have random spawns on today on the drafts, and the spawn was right just inside Lake Hylia, the entrance from Hyrule Field. So yeah, that was our first major item was lights today. Yes, I can see Machie. We thank you to our trackers who've added storms to Machie's tracker. You might have to take it away in a minute. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that's. I don't envy trackers when they have to like think of the scumming that people sometimes do. But...
Right.
Yeah, Prelude is nice, but I guess like it would be the nicest to go back adult. But if he scums his child segment, like it's not actually that punishing, I guess, but
yeah, so we did find one key in child spirit. So by spirit key logic, that's logical AD, but we still don't actually know if it was hard required AD. We're still unsure of that. Cfalcon did do that.
Yep. He didn't climb though, which I actually find a little interesting because like if you find the strength 2 in spirit, that's like a really, really big find. But I understand it in the time. I was a little surprised he didn't go back after Jabu. I think that's when I would have climbed. But I tend to be a child spirit doer anyway.
It's a big chest there. But yeah, especially if you don't have a strength 2, it gives you a lot of information about spirit quite early on, so it's very tempting to do it in that case. Let's find out what this big chest was.
He's gonna put it off.
No.
What a monster.
I know. I'm living in suspense here.
I know. Awful. I don't know how people do that. As soon as I see a big chest, even if it's like not as efficient to go grab it right now, I'm like, ooh, big chest, I gotta go get that.
I suppose this is very chill of Machie though. Like he's made a decision to complete bottom of the well, and so that's it. It's getting done regardless, so it doesn't matter.
That's the thing. Is like he's looking for multiple items, so like that item doesn't stop him from doing the rest of well anyway. So. Yeah, the tiles were bullying both of our runners today. They were not very nice to either of them.
This very themed boomerang for the mini Sephiroth.
Yeah.
That Machie has. I appreciate mini Sephiroth.
Yeah, that trick with the boomerang is always really nice. It feels like it's one of those things that's like super easy, and then I try it a bunch of times and I suck at it, and then I get angry.
Yes, that and the boomerang on TARDIS as well. It's also angry boomerang.
All right, finally getting around to the big chest after the.
Oh!
Oh my God! He's Galaxy Brains. Did he skip the AD? Oh, that's access. That opens. Oh my God! There's another big chest. Oh, okay, no,
okay, we don't worry about that one. Well, he's not going to be. He's not going to be scumming it.
No, you definitely don't scum. I'm going to still give him so much credit for thinking.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a great play. But yeah, you don't scum it now.
So that puts all of GTG in though. Now though, we have full access to GTG. Obviously can't do the strength 2 stuff, but that's a ton of checks still. Technically it's a little bit nerfed with dungeon tokens compared to the rest of dungeons, but Machie, you have K-Sword, you don't need the broken stick. Okay, he was very stubborn about it. Yeah, that's... Assuming you don't pull like Strength 2 or Mirror here, I think you definitely go out to GTG next.
You will break from your stick.
Unfortunate dead hand spawn next to the hand, so you can't get the...
Yeah, it was very frustrating.
Back-to-back dead hand. Don't be a jerk. Why are you like this? So... Cfalcon about to get his boss key. He does have the advantage of having furores here too, so he'll be able to set it in case he needs to climb further.
And then I guess for Cfalcon, it's over to Spirit. I mean, he could. No, he can't. No double strength. So it's hunting down. It's hunting down strength and mirror. And so, what decisions he's going to make to start to work on that. Ice is an option.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he could try and climb Child Spirit. That seems very out of the way given the age change requirement there. Ice has been in Logic for a really long time.
I suppose it's not. He's not far off, right? Because he's gonna get Song of Storms here as well. So he could also make the choice to go to bottom of the well.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Hello, other wallet. Both skulls on bottom of the well were both wallets.
Oh, wonderful.
That was both wallets on 2 of the skulls. That's just fun.
I was wondering about that. We've been you know, in the poorer part of rupee collection for a while, so
yeah.
We do have both tunics, yeah.
Yes. I forget exactly where the Goron tunic was, but I think it was pretty early. Ooh, this
Graveyard had the Zora one, I can't remember the...
Oh!
Well, hello.
Oh my god.
It's absolutely loaded.
That was huge. That's Strength 2 and card Storms locked. I would rush out to GTG right now. If you're Machie, you can actually check if you're like forced AD at this point.
Right, and you know, he's not sort of tempted to go the to use Requiem and go that route because he doesn't have it, so he has to go via GTG. Well, via Gerudo Fortress.
Yeah, it's a slow walk, but I think it's like better. I wonder. I think what the correct thing to do is like you poke your head into GTG and you peek the maze. Maybe. Because you are still... The only thing we're looking for now is Mirror Shield. And... He doesn't know... I guess none of us really know if we are hard child locked in Spirit.
We don't. But, well, I guess we'll find out here. And it's annoying that he doesn't have Furores as well because he can't set that in GTG. That would be really... The fact that Cfalcon has Furores and Requiem is really beneficial for him.
Yeah.
That could pull it back together. Well, I mean, we still don't know. There's still a lot that... We don't know which one's ahead because there's still a lot that could be within the sea that we don't know.
I think this actually might just come down to... Was AD required? Which feels like the worst way to end a seed like this, where both of our runners have played really well. Their decision-making has all, like, made sense with what they've had. Like, execution levels are pretty much equal. Like, it's been a really fun race to watch, and it's kind of just a coin flip, like, is AD hard required?
Yeah, and there's been a couple of times which we've had them in the same dungeon, but not in exactly the same point. They've chosen different routes from the beginning. Obviously hit the same checks, but in a slightly different order. So yeah, it's been a good one.
So technically, the only thing that we have hinted for Spirit is a hookshot, which at this point we're pretty sure is because of like AD logic anyway.
Yeah, that path was satisfied super quickly.
Yeah, and Longshot was hookshot locked, so you can't even say that Spirit's like Longshot locked. Did Machie ever peek the hammer rocks there? Did he just run past the hammer rocks check?
He did just run past the hammer rocks, yeah.
That's bold. That would make me a little nervous. But
straight to GGG.
Yeah.
Did we find out our third foolish? Fortress is foolish. That was actually what I was wondering. Okay, perfect.
Fortress, Water, and River are the three.
No HBA is good times.
Ooh, Cfalcon going into upper fire too. We know that center chest is actually a bait. That is the Stone of Agony.
And looks like we have a bet in chat for Mirror Shield, so get your bets in with exclamation mark bet. Or maybe we'll just find it.
No.
Right here. In Fire Temple.
So
cool. Now what?
Cfalcon still needs to find a second strength though.
Yes, which is in bottom of the well. The only other one that we know is in bottom of the well.
That is what we would say not good for Machie though, because he's not going to have Furores. He doesn't have Requiem to get all the way back out.
No.
He's going to have to choose to climb fire. I think he's on a timer, unfortunately.
No Furores is really annoying.
That's been yeah.
And his storms for Cfalcon, so will that be enough for him to think, I'll do bottom of the well quickly before I do anything else?
Yeah. He could potentially go ice. I don't think ice is like a terrible play.
It's not, because he doesn't have to age change.
Yeah.
Right? So that's going to be really quite tempting.
So.
What do we need a pony for?
Yeah, this is
We don't need a pony for ice.
No. He's been very liberal with his summoning of opponents. I think he really... I would have to ask if he's like a horse guy or something, because...
Maybe he's just done the math and he's just worked it out. It is
Maybe,
technically faster to get the horse, but... no, it looks like an age change.
Just called the horse to ride it to market. I would be curious. I mean, Cfalcon seems like the kind of person who would know like the optimal movements. Like he's top 10 qualified for a reason. Like
exactly. I'd believe him over myself. So
yeah. This is an age change. This makes me think this might be a well play, which.
That'll be it.
Yeah.
And it might not be it because he did the AD. It might just be it because... Well, I suppose in a way it is because the AD gave him Requiem, so that's going to speed up a lot of things.
Yeah. I think, I mean, we should be able to... He'll still be looking for keys in Boss Key and Spirit, so we should be able to figure out if it was hard AD or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Cfalcon's choice to sort of hold on Forest Temple as well until he had the bow helped him out. Being able to clear out Forest Temple to get that Furores really did.
Yeah, I can't, like... This feels like such an awful seed for Machie, because, like, there's nothing that he's done that I would be like, oh, this was wrong. It's just been, like... kind of unfortunate small thing after small thing. Like,
And it's changed throughout. I mean, like our
yeah,
feelings on who's ahead has just switched with. And it's a good rando seed in that way.
yeah,
But yeah, bad for sort of, execution and making the correct judgment. Because, like
yeah,
you said, he made the correct judgment. But
yeah. I think all of the plays he's made has made sense. He's played really well execution wise. He's been really efficient with his routing. Um, but like, I don't know, the decision to not finish off Skull Mask in your child one like snowballed into him not having magic to go into Shadow.
mhm.
Unfortunately, like I think putting off AD is like a solid gamble. I wouldn't even say it's a gamble. I think it's like a 50-50 call, really. Um, just yeah, it's
Yeah, choosing density is a solid play. It's, especially with bottom of the well. I mean, heading there was really, really beneficial to him. And until that mirror shield, we were feeling pretty good about his route forward. But yeah, the mirror
yeah,
shield is the mirror shield find is tough.
yeah. I even like the way he approached the fire temple. Like I think if that map chest is a small key, like I think he checks that big chest. It was just not having furores and getting key locked there is like the most brutal place to get key locked in fire temple, unfortunately. Just a couple things not going his way, and he's still making a hell of a race out of this. Like,
Oh yeah.
when you're up against a 7 seed like Cfalcon, it's it's a tough race. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, thank you, chat. Moderator.
Yes.
Monitoring
That's
chat.
the thing that happened. Yeah. Thank you, mods.
Did you know that that person is selling Viewbot software?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Cfalcon pulled his Garuda card. That's... Wait, you can do that? I always forget you can just, like, jump up on the coffin and just throw your boomerang through the top. That's,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's the thing. Okay. I think the strength 2 is the check before dead hand here. So I think we're gonna be in... Okay, he's gonna deviate to the skull, sure. We'll see wallet number 1. Yeah, and we got a small key in adult spirit here, so it wasn't hard AD. Machie had the right idea. Played the gamble of not doing AD. Just that key lock and fire is brutal. Damn. Cfalcon seeing the other wallet.
Yes, your wallet spiders.
Yeah, no, this is like an incredibly interesting seed just from like a AD versus not AD seed. Did Cfalcon skip the dead hand loop?
Yeah, I don't think he's done the dead hand loop. I think he's doing these ones first.
Ooh. Big chest and spirit. Baiting Machie, probably. Since it's in spirit, it's probably strength 3, right?
Yeah. And there's strength 2 for Cfalcon. And he's leaving straight away.
Yeah, that's his go mode. So he has everything that he would possibly need for spirit, magic and fire, has long shot, mirror, so mirror shield was in the upper fire temple maze.
Oh, another quiver.
But,
Yeah, it was in the
wow.
upper fire maze. Machie got key locked out of it, so didn't find it on his way up Fire Temple. Cfalcon found it, and with getting storms from Burning Cack, then headed over to, we guess, the dense check location of bottom of the well, and got everything else that he needed to complete the seed.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Was that bow locked?
Well, he did find the bow that Machie found in the.
I don't think that's bow locked. Is it bow locked? How is that bow locked?
Are you trying to work out if that's our first bow?
I'm trying to figure out if that could be our first bow.
You can trek over here. Oh goodness, yeah, that would be difficult.
Longshot was available. Oh, I guess technically we don't have lens for logical crossing right now. So
Yeah,
I
we
guess
don't know where lens
technically you
is.
probably need AD. Yeah, okay. You probably need AD in the seed, like logically. That's probably bow locked. We haven't found lens anywhere, and we've checked like most of our, unless lens is just sitting in ice or something. But
yeah, ice we've had access to for a while. GTG was really late, so that would be a bit weird. But
yeah.
I mean, it could be there, but
It could be in GTG too. Yeah, that's true. So.
Even then, it's probably not first bow in that case, because
Oh no.
everything we require to get bottom of the wow to Song of Storms, like Bongo, need a bow for that.
Machie just muscle memory into try and reflecting the sunbeam
Oh,
without the mirror shield. It's like you just need to polish the Hylian shield really hard,
yeah.
and maybe. Oh, that's unfortunate. So. No, the boss key chest was right before the bow check in fire. So technically you didn't need it for fire. I don't think you needed it for water either, because you have dins for the torches. Just the only thing we don't have is logical crossing with the lens, so... No, Toad, it was like the check before map chest in the maze, I guess. So Cfalcon's just looking for, I believe, one more small key and the boss key. And then he will probably be going up to the Rova fight. So... Yeah, I don't know how you, So I think that 30 skull bow has pretty much been proven to be like the one that you should get. Even if that one in Spirit technically isn't bow locked, I think the... Okay.
Yeah, it's always a big risk. I must admit, I'll see a 30 Skulltula bow and I think I'm going to find another one, it's fine. But this is a proof point for that not always being true.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been faster.
Yeah, both of our runners did a great job at routing the 30 skulls. It didn't even feel like it was much of a, like, deterrent to them. They crushed the skull routing. So...
And Cfalcon not even interested in big chests anymore. Only keys. Mirror Shield was in Fire Temple.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that is the small key requirement that Cfalcon requires, and he's just gonna climb to Rova. So. A convenient long shot for this room.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's awful when you're here and you don't have it.
Yeah, this room, it's one of those rooms that like if you do it right with the like cycle, it's fine, and if you get even a tiny bit messed up with the cycle, it is just a nightmare. Very feast or famine room for this. Machie playing Bolero, I think this is a fire check.
So yeah, very close for Machie then. He's going to find his mirror shield here. But Cfalcon with too much of a lead, really, to let it go.
Yeah. People were saying he peeked the chest there, too. I didn't actually... I don't think I paid enough attention at that moment in Fire to see the big chest, but I totally understand. Like, you still have all of Storms to do. Seeing the big chest is like an awful feeling.
With this round, it's best of 3, and so it looks like Cfalcon will be taking this one, and they will arrange their second game. I think they've got a 3-week period, right, to
I think
arrange, the 3 games, the 3 matches.
It's actually a very good point, too. This isn't the end for Machie. He has the ability to come back. And I think he's proven in this race that, like, Cfalcon's a 7 seed, but he can't be comfortable. Machie was like a couple just small things away from winning this seed.
Yeah.
Like really that key lock out of Fire was brutal for him. Unfortunately not having furores because of it being in force basement, like.
And he's really not far away. Like, you know, we commented that he had to age change a couple of times. That was unfortunate. And even with that, he's still not that far away.
Yeah. Definitely deserving of being in top 32 with this performance. Been insane from both runners. Really top-notch execution from both of them. Routing decisions were great on both ends. Yeah, not much to say that hasn't been said. It's been a fun one to watch.
Purple Bomber saying, I feel like the card shuffle caused more of this than the random spawns.
Yeah.
The card shuffle was particularly disruptive.
This, random spawns, honestly, like, it feels like it's either a nothing setting or it's really brutal. And I feel like in this seed it was really brutal. Partially just, the warp songs.
Yeah, the warp songs are, yeah. So I quite like random spawns because I think it offers an extra warp. And, you know, so it could be very useful for getting somewhere that's quite difficult to get to. But yeah, today it was not very helpful. And we didn't have many warp songs as well. On top of the, like, you know, is it AD, is it not AD? And even if we say, like, okay, fine, you didn't have to do AD to complete this seed. Machie still dipped Forest. He had to because it was Path. He completed Shadow Temple because that was Path as well. And Dodongo's Cavern because it was just easy to do it. So, yeah, it's... The one thing about the seed is that we were lucky on. We did get to skip a few side dungeons. No GTG, no Ice Cavern in this. Yeah. So,
also,
could have been worse.
Just as a note, Machie has his face cam up and he threw his head back and let out a little, like, kind of thing when he pulled the mirror.
Yeah, we can understand that.
A tough one, yeah. That's to like see a big chest and like have to decide if you want to go back. Like that's a long climb for like a chest that could potentially be a bait. Yeah. I don't blame the decision to go to well. It's the like dense correct play. Just a brutal placement, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Cfalcon getting all the medallions, getting some love on the lax there, so.
Yeah, he's done pretty well with health. I guess there's been more checks in play with skulls being, with dungeon skulls being shuffled, so naturally managed to pick up a little more health. Yes, Machie having to trek back over to Spirit Temple, not having Requiem because didn't complete didn't complete Forest Temples, didn't get Ocarina of Time for Requiem.
Cfalcon just got a climb and a Ganon. So honestly, 30 skull AD seed, still gonna sub 3. Just a very impressive performance.
Absolutely amazing.
I always forget exactly how much climb is, but I think it's like 5.5, 6 minutes or something.
God, that really is something. Yeah, because I suppose you have to beat, you know, all your favorite enemies, all the favorites.
Ice keys aren't in Ganon's castle. What are you talking
No,
about?
well, there are some. Is there not an ice? Is there in water thingy?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. There are actually they are there, just not in.
But we don't need to go there. You can turn it on as a shuffle, right? So you can put trials on it as a draft.
Yeah.
That can be selected. That's come up a few times.
Actually, speaking of, I believe Machie banned trials, and Cfalcon banned overworld tokens. So those
Who was the selector of the overworld token of the dungeon tokens? I don't know.
I believe it was Cfalcon. I think Cfalcon chose overworld token or dungeon. Gee, now you have me to dungeon tokens. Machie then responded with the card shuffle. I think Machie took chickens 1, and Cfalcon took random spawns.
Last time I interviewed Cfalcon, he said that he was randomly choosing drafts. So it'd be interesting to know if he randomly chose these ones today.
I was actually watching the draft, and Cfalcon desperately tried to draft random spawns as his major, and the bot would not let him.
Nice
he
try.
kept putting in random spawns, and he's like, "Why isn't it an option?" I was like, "I think it's a minor." So it was just kind of funny. But yeah, keeping track of like all of the possible settings is pretty crazy. And
yeah, there's a helpful Google document out there, so you can find it again on the Discord.
If Cfalcon is like drafting randomly, that just goes to show how insane a player he is, because he just like doesn't care what he has to play. He's just that good. He's that confident. He's such a what a beast.
In this season 7's interesting because it's really, I think if you do play RSL, it can be really quite helpful for you in season 7. And so many of those random options can appear here. Harder maybe if you just play standard.
Yeah, I loved when I saw what the S7 was going to be. I know there were some mixed feelings, but I think it just like adds a little bit of variety to it.
Oh, it's great as a watcher. As a player, it can be tough. But yeah, to watch it, it's really exciting.
Yeah, it's been I think like a little bit of a way to kind of keep standard a little bit fresher, and it's also resulted in some really fun seeds, some really fun races this season.
Yeah, you find a few settings that you really like as well, like entrance randomizer. It's one of the ones I was a little bit scared of, but really growing to like entrance randomizer a lot. Or dungeon entrance randomizer. The small entrances can just stay no.
Yep. So I see Cfalcon facing the big man himself.
All right, yeah, get your GGs ready and for Cfalcon. Just the Ganon boss battle to go, and it looks like we're going to be a sub 3.
Yeah. Very good performance. Yeah, Machie's probably, I would say maybe less than 10 minutes behind, which is a very good performance here. Yeah, been a really good race to watch. Been fun. So. Oh, I was gonna comment on Cfalcon's like really just clean, execution, and then the tail. We're gonna There we go. So, all right, there it is. Just waiting on the cutscene.
You called the hammer though. I think you can negate all of those 7s for calling that hammer location. And that is GG's for Cfalcon. Sub 3 AD, oops AD, 30 skulls.
We do, in fact, have Cfalcon here for an interview.
Yeah,
I believe Machie's going
welcome.
to be in chat.
Yeah, GG's. Yeah.
GG's Cfalcon.
Yeah, thank you.
How did you find the seed?
Just another typical seed where you have just a wave of different emotions. First of all, man, I can't. Why did I pick random spawns? Normally I love playing with it, but are there any hikers out there today? I gotten some good exercise in this seed.
Yeah, we were wondering. We were talking about that before. Last time we chatted, you said that you were randomly selecting all of your drafts. Did that happen again today, or was it planned out?
That was just that race.
Yeah.
For this one, I kind of went sort of back to my normal strategy. Normally I've been picking Dungeon ER, but I decided to go with Dungeon Skulls today. But I also banned Overworld Skulls because I didn't want too many skulls. Although I had to collect at least 30 of them anyway. So yeah, but no, like I said, the seed, just the range of emotions that goes. Like, I was trying to be, because of the random spawns, I was trying to be like super thorough and make sure I do everything that's in like certain areas and all that. And to be honest, the only thing that really paid off that I found, I thought, was the strength on child fishing. It was like the only out of the way item like early that I got. And I was trying to I was hoping that would the advantage would carry me for a while, and then I felt absolutely awful. After I got into the well and saw the Grudo card there, and I'm like, oh my god, I just threw a bunch of time away doing AD when it probably wasn't required. And I was finding out from my opponent afterwards that well, AD wasn't required. The Furor's Wind I found in the Basin of Forest might have helped.
Yeah, it was really back and forth for a while between you. For a few times we couldn't decide, who was ahead, and in the end of it, it came down to sort of you finding the mirror shield in Upper Fire Temple, but prior to that, Machie had already gone to bottom of the well and found the Gerudo card, and obviously had opted not to do all dungeons, and so that was the route for him. So we were going back and forth a little bit, but yeah, the mirror shield in the end really pulled through and for you, and then the fact that you had the time saves with Furor's and Requiem paid off as well. You also opted to get magic pretty early on. So it was like a couple of big decisions at the beginning. There was getting the 30 skulls to get the bow, and also to get magic pretty with a skull mask. Did you think about that at all? You're like, skull mask has magic, I'm just going to run and go for it.
I mean, I definitely ran for the skull mask magic. I kind of went out of my way to go get that, especially since if I remember correctly, I think both of the skull mask skins were around Deku, so I didn't even have the Keaton mask when I found out, and I was already in the forest. But yeah, I definitely went out of my way for that, and it kind of I mean, I see Machie's double magic. I don't know what the second one was, but it felt like that first one unintentionally paid off, because that Hyrule Field Path Evolve. Yeah, wasn't expecting Din's fire to be.
None of us were. Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah. Second magic was in bottom of the well, so the skull mask was the only one available.
Gotcha.
Logically, so. Yeah, I was gonna ask something. Oh, how'd you feel about the path? So, once you figured out, 3 of them were wasted on the same, chain of logic.
Yeah, they were not particularly,
no.
Particularly good, because the Cag Baronade was Iron Boots to get the Dins that was in Hyrule Field. That eventually led to Hammer and in Jabu, so that all that path went along, and then Forest Morph, I knew what that was because I had everything else for that dungeon already. And then obviously I didn't find the 5th path hit, but I'm sure there's a CAC path to Goma for the Kokiri sword that was Spear Zero out there somewhere. So
I think it was the one like by KZ, which just said CAC to Goma. Yeah. So yeah, we were debating because like the seed, even without it being like actually logically or just like hard required AD, like the seed forced you into all 3 stone dungeons. Did you do AD like just because it seemed like it was correct, or like we were talking like the time that you spent doing AD to get Requiem just saved you a crossing or 2 anyway? So like the time kind of evened out that way. Like were you just, was it kind of like the seed just like pushed you into it, so you were like, okay, fine, I'll just do it, worst case, or was it like actually a decision like, I think this is AD?
well, I'm admittedly one of the people that, like, if I'm playing like a weekly or something like that, if I see Requiem AD, I'm usually someone that just goes for it. About 90% of the time. The Grudo card being shuffled and not showing up like early convinced me more that maybe, like, I wanted to be able to get to Spirit at some point, so I thought Requiem was, honestly thought Requiem was it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just why I went for it, and
yeah, once we
didn't need to today necessarily, but
once we had the like Ocarina of Time has Requiem, and like we saw like the Din's path, we were like, oh, what if the card is just in Spirit and you like have to do Requiem for card, not even like Spirit logic or something? Like, so there were some really funny possibilities with this seed.
Yeah, and one other sort of smaller question, I guess. The horse. You seem to call Epona from going to Kakariko to market. Do you have some inside information as to how quick that is versus just back walking, or?
I mean, it's not really that. It's not really that much quicker, but I don't know. I just get an habit of calling Epona, especially in field. You know, that's kind of, it's literally how the seed started. So.
Yeah, that's true. Just like maybe he's timed this and he knows better than we do about, you know, how much faster it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, finding strength. Your find of strength as well in Lake Hylia was actually quite beneficial as well. It's getting that early allowed you to complete Forest Temple earlier, which helped a lot with the getting of the Farore's Wind, as well as having the bow when you were down there too. Awesome. That's all my questions. I don't know, Cfalcon, have you got anything else that you'd like to add about the seed?
No, I think I pretty much said at this point.
It was a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think just for me, one of the things I want to just mention is like both runners did insane with the 30 skull bow too. Like,
oh
I think,
yeah, that was
I think
so
Machie
great.
beat you by maybe like 5 to 10 minutes on it, but like you guys both like, obviously dungeons are like the most dense place for tokens a lot of the time, but you guys did great like picking them up as you went, and I think you both had it by like 1:30, which was just really impressive. So I just wanted to make a comment about that for both of you.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, especially since skull runing's always been a little bit of weakness of mine on like both sides of the equation. Especially with an item like that where there's 3 of them. I've been a little too aggressive sometimes of rushing the crap out of something like that only to immediately find like another one.
Yeah.
So I was trying to be careful and not like, oh, I'm gonna go into this random corner and grab this skull, or
yeah, that was it was really impressive how well you guys like routed them without going out of your way to do it. Like neither of you lost time like doing that with like the crazy like skull plays or anything, but it was just like really consistent picking up, and you guys both got it around the same time. It was impressive to watch. It was a great race, honestly. Like you guys diverged, came back at like you both had advantages and disadvantages. It was a really fun one. So
yeah, it was awesome. Machie finished as well. GG Machie's a time of 3:04. So yeah, within 10 minutes. As you said, Para. So yeah, GG's on that. It was really quite something, especially with a few extra age changes in there, trekking back over Wasteland a couple of times. That's really something.
Just to, out of curiosity, since this was game 1, do you guys have your game 2 scheduled yet, or is that still up in the air?
Well, we don't currently because I'm in another tournament right now, so I have to schedule 2 things at once here. But Machie, just send a message. We can definitely talk about when to get game 2. And
I was just gonna hype up for game 2, but if you guys don't have it yet, I don't have to do that, so we can just we'll ignore the questions. No, yeah. Thanks for putting on a great race, both of you, Machie and chat. I'm sure it's late for you. GG. Good luck with the rest of the series. I'm gonna definitely try and check in on game 2 after this one. So, you guys both played great.
Well, all right. With that, yeah, I will just echo the GGs to Cfalcon and Machie as well. Thank you guys for letting us restream you. So we very much appreciate it. Thank you to our volunteers, our trackers today, Tomotalk and Waylon. And thank you, Natasha and Pyra, for coming for us today. That was extremely exciting to listen to, and again, just an extremely exciting race to watch. We will see, as far as the future races, we will see everyone again, hopefully on Wednesday, where we have a game 2 of Wooden Barrel versus Morso Lion, excuse me. Morso is up 1 on that, and that'll be at 2:20 Eastern on Wednesday. Again, assuming we get the volunteers, and then really close after that, or during that rather, 3:50 p.m. will be Valthea versus Let's Play, and that'll be their game 1. So stay tuned for that, and if you want to see the rest of the schedule, you can type !schedule in the chat. I don't have a good raid target, so I think we will end it there for the night. Any last comments from anyone up here in the booth?
I am all good. So.
All right. Well then. Yeah. GG's everyone. Thank you for coming out, chat. Thank you for supporting the stream and for just being here. It's always a blast. You know, you're the reason we do it, and so all of us get to come together and make this community awesome. So we very much appreciate it. Yeah, so from the ZSR family up here, we will see you guys next time, hopefully on Wednesday. Have a great day.